For the third time this season, it's the Niagara Falls Americans and the Newark Pilots. Welcome to Colburn Park here in Newark, New York. I'm Tom Rook alongside Ethan Duncan right here on the Americans Sports Network. And bright, sunny July Friday night. Ethan, welcome in.
Both teams looking for a win for the first time in a while. Ironically, both their last two wins came against Elmira. Last time Newark won was on the 4th. The Americans was on the 30th. So both these teams, really tough season so far. 8th and 9th place in the league. Really looking for a win here in Newark, New York.
Yeah, the Americans coming into tonight, 9-21 overall, 6-10 at home, 3-11 on the road. Like you mentioned, they've lost their last 9 in a row. The Pilots 4-20 on the year, 3-11 here at Colburn, 1-9 on the road. They've lost their last 4 in a row. The Americans coming off an absolute barn burner last night in Batavia, lost a tough one, Ethan, because of a big 9-run 7th inning from the Muck Dogs.
Kyrie just kept getting out of jams. We saw it in felt like the first, second, third, and fourth, and fifth innings. But in that 6th inning, he hit the first 2 guys. Bases were loaded, and he wasn't able to get out of it again. They really sort of fed him to the wolves. No one in the bullpen really helped him out. So when the dust sealed, we were down by 5, and really it just kept going from there. Americans were up 6-0 with that dream start, trying to get a win off the top team in the PGCBL in that West Division, but unable to, and trying to take out their frustration here on Newark. Yeah,
the Americans went into the 5th inning up 6-1, had 1 point. The Muck Dogs poured on 3 runs in the 6th. That made it 6-4, also 7-4 because the Americans scored a run as well. Eventually, 8-4 they were up, and then 9 runs from the Muck Dogs alone in the 6th inning. Then they scored 3 more in the 8th to ultimately pull ahead and win that one by 9 runs, 17-8. But the pitching struggles continue for the Americans. Not necessarily the pitching start struggles, but the relief arms have really been tough this year and as of late for the Americans. But the starting pitchers been much better. And speaking of starting pitchers, a new one on the bump tonight for the Niagara Falls Americans. It's Owen McCandless, Ethan.
Yeah, should be good to see McCandless, one of our new signings, along with Kyrie Harmon, who played all right. I mean, at the end of the day, he had 10 earned runs, but you think if he'd gotten through that 5th inning, he'd probably be around 4 or 2. Besides that, looking for a strong start from McCandless, and looking they actually put someone in the pen prior to when it's like too late and already down.
So these two teams have played 2 times this season, and we'll listen in to the starting lineups.
The shortstop, Justin Gladfelter. Number 5, the right fielder, Xander Clark. Number 3, the center fielder, Dominic Zangandi. Number 49, the first baseman, Michael Sabella. Number 23, the DH, Vincent Fabata. Number 20, the catcher, Nick Paz. Number 22, the second baseman, Anthony Savino. Number 6, the third baseman, Cooper Rowell. Number 33, the left fielder, Rai Taro Munakata. Number 10, the extra hitter, Evan Shank. And on the mound, number 40, the pitcher, Owen McCandless. At this time, put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for your own Newark Pilots. Leading off from Rochester, New York, number 16, the shortstop, Miles Castillo. From Pittsburgh, PA, number 28, the DH, Matthew D'Ottavio. From Pittsburgh, New York, number 32, the second baseman, Colburn. From Dodge, New York, the number 8, the first baseman, Michael DeRosa. From Raleigh, North Carolina, number 3, the extender, Connor White. From the Bronx, New York, number 23, the center fielder, Jeremy Sosa. From Hingham, Massachusetts, number 19, the right fielder, Liam Wagner. From Thomasville, Alabama, number 6, the catcher, Luke Buzzell. From Golden Bridge, New York, number 27, the third baseman, Lucas Orlovitz. From Sudbury, Ontario, number 5, the left fielder, Justin Danadeo. And from Moorville, Mississippi, number 13, the pitcher, Cam Harrison. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and move your hats for the singing the national anthem by Christy Marchetel.
Oh, you don't agree with me?
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn O'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streamed, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Nice job, Christy.
Awesome job.
That'll bring us into tonight's starting lineups. The Americans, the away team, will take a look at the starting lineup for the red, white, and blue first right here on the American Sports Network.
Justin Gladfelter staying at that leadoff spot, this time moving to shortstop. Something we've only seen once so far. Xander Clark coming back into the lineup in right field today. Dominic Zangardi replacing David Harris in center field. Third, Michael Sabella, first time we're going to see him all year, giving to Adam Weiss his day off at first base. Vincent Favada in the 5 spot, DHing. Nick Pass coming back into the catching role after Foxcroft played yesterday, catching for the Americans. Anthony Savino moving from shortstop to second base. First time we've seen that in a while. Cooper Rao going back to third base. We've seen Shank, we've seen Marcotte, we've seen Mikulski over there, but going back to that everyday third baseman with Rao. Rayatara Munakata, who we have not seen in a while in the outfield, opting to go from left. Last time he was up, he was in right field. And Evan Shank going to come back in the lineup here in that 10 spot as the extra hitter. And Owen McCandless on the mound here for the Americans. Curious to see how he does in his first appearance for the red, white, and blue.
Yeah, a couple different changes coming into tonight. Savino getting the start at second base. His first time since the Sunday doubleheader against Geneva. The last time he was over there at second, been at shortstop. Michael Sabella getting his first start tonight for the Americans, as well as Owen McCandless, who we mentioned. Sabella currently in the transfer portal, a switch-hitting first baseman, also a catcher, going to play first tonight. Gladfelter moving over to shortstop. Zangardi going to get the start in center field. No David Harris, no Matt Ganschow, and no Adam Weiss tonight, who are all up there in the top 3 on this team in at-bats besides Zangardi, but they're getting the night off against the last-place Pilots, as that'll bring us into the Pilots' defensive alignment tonight. In the outfield, Justin Danado to Sosa in center and Liam Wagner in right. Then the infield, you've got Lucas Orlovitz, Miles Castillo, Colden Forney, and Michael DeRosa, who was just named a midseason All-Star. And the battery tonight for the Pilots is Luke Brazel behind the plate and Cam Harrison on the mound. A couple other players named to that midseason All-Star list on the American side: David Harris, Matt Ganschow, and Dom Zangardi. Zangardi the only one in the lineup tonight for the Americans. But David Harris currently leading all of the PGCBL in batting average, not in the lineup tonight, getting the night off. Long season, this team playing 44 games in 62 days. We are now on game 31, but Harris, a .462 batting average, leads all the PGCBL. So if you're a Pilots fan, you're happy that he's not in the lineup tonight, as that'll bring up Justin Gladfelter to lead off tonight's game.
We talked about the struggles of pitching for both these teams, Tom, in the 16 players teams in the PGCBL. Pilots are 16th and the Americans are 13th, but they've really had the Pilots number, outscored them 27-7 in those 2 games, mercy them both in 7 innings. Americans looking for more of the same here with Gladfelter leading off.
Been a long time since these two teams have faced off. Gladfelter digs in. First pitch from Harrison is called a strike, a fastball.
Talked about the pitching for the Newark Pilots. So far in the year, Cam Harrison has really struggled for this Pilots team. His 8th appearance here, in his 5 appearances where he came in relief. He's 0-5 on the year.
Pitch to Gladfelter, inside, misses. Now 1-1. Here's the 1-1. Gladfelter takes it outside. Now 2-1. Gladfelter has not had a stolen base since June 30th, 20 on the year. A double last night First extra base hit since June 11th when he had a triple. But now ahead in the count 2-1, looking to drive the baseball. Pitch outside, misses from Harrison. Harrison, a guy from a strong junior college, Northeast Mississippi Community College, Mooreville, Mississippi native. Actually just pitched a couple nights ago against the Tarp Skunks and had an outing he'll remember, to say the least. 3-1 now to Gladfelter. Swung and a miss, strike 2. I say, to say the least, that he'll remember it. I'm not sure it's going to be one that he wants to remember. Came in against Jamestown, the number 2 team in the league, and was looking to close it out, but came in and walked 4 batters he faced, didn't get a single out, and was yanked from the game in the 9th. Pitch to Gladfelter, 3-2, fouled off on the first baseline. We'll do it again.
Trying to avoid walking Gladfelter here. We talked about when he gets on bases, stolen bases are sure to follow on the year. 31 walks, only 16 strikeouts, a 2-to-1 walk to strikeout ratio here. Trying not to add to it here with Gladfelter's fouled off a couple of full count pitches here, Tom.
Yeah, it was kind of his calling card at the beginning of the year. A lot of walks, a lot of stolen bases. Hasn't been the case as of late. Now 3-2. Outside, and there's a walk. Speaking of it, Gladfelter reaches to lead off the game. Had a walk last night, which was his first since June 23rd. 1 walk in just his last 7 games compared to 9 walks in the previous 7. So Gladfelter reaches on first. That'll bring up Xander Clark getting the start in right field tonight for the Americans. Clark, a guy that's kind of been in and out of this lineup. Batting from the left side, an aggressive left-handed swing. Gladfelter off first, can run. 20 steals on the year. Pitch to Clark in the dirt. Gladfelter going to stay put. A good block back there from Brazel. 1-0.
Harris on the year has struggled with the wild pitches handedly. 9 wild pitches on the team. That's first, just above Jackson Moore with 8. Lucky he's behind the dish as Purcell nearly had him get another one.
Clark will step off as there's a pick off the first. Gladfelter back. I mentioned Gladfelter not at a steal since June 30th. He's got 20 steals in 19 games this year. Now on first. 1-0 count. Pitch to Clark is lined into right center. That'll fall for the base hit. Gladfelter will round second, head for third. He'll make it, and it's runners at the corners here with nobody out for the Americans. Snap throw to third, but Gladfelter back in time. Xander Clark base hit to right center.
Yeah, just took one on his first pitch, just drives it in between in that right center gap. We've talked about the speed from Gladfelter able to get from first to third. Now runners at the corners. Harrison already in a bit of a jam. Hasn't been thrown 10 pitches yet. And Zangardi trying to make a pay here.
So last night the Americans suffered a tough loss against the Muck Dogs, and the offense was not the one to blame. Put up 9 runs, 6 in 1 inning. Pitch to Zangardi. He pops that one up on the edge of the infield. Colden Forney underneath it makes the play. There's the first out of the inning.
You talked about the Americans with really an issue at the beginning of the year and sort of it's trickled back up at the end of the year, really not waiting for pitches. They'll swing at that first pitch a lot. That was really their issue to start the season. And then they take some pitches, walks would follow. But Zangardi, who's recently named an all-star, you think he'd take a pitch against a guy who just walked Gladfelter and then gave up a hit on the first pitch as well. But now it'll be Sabella's turn. Looking to get his first hit and his first RBI here in Newark, New York.
So Sabella batting from the left side, a switch hitter against the righty Harrison. Pitch. Chop to the left side and through for a base hit. Gladfelter will score. How about Michael Sabella? First at bat as an American. It's an RBI single. The red, white, and blue take a 1-0 lead against the Newark Pilots.
Both the hits so far in this game have come on the first pitch. Sabella and Clark before him. Maybe see why Zangardi swung at that first one. Just able to pop it up. But now first and second, run has already scored. It brings up Benny Favada.
So Clark now on second. Sabella off first. His first at-bat hits a base hit through the left side. Harrison out of the stretch. Checks on Clark. Deals to Favada upstairs for ball 1. Sabella in the transfer portal. A 6'5", 225-pound catcher first baseman. Played at Wilkes University in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania for 2 years. Now looking for a new opportunity. He's off first. Xander Clark off second. Favada, the designated hitter tonight at the plate. 1-0 pitch outside. This is now 1-1. Favada been getting a lot more reps as of late. He's got a hit in 4 of his last 5 games. Count now 2-0. He's ahead got a home run on the year. First and second, one out. Pitch. Outside, misses. Now 3-0. Favada played in 5 of the last 10 games for the Americans after not having an at-bat in the previous 11. So really kind of riding the hot hand, as I mentioned, for it since last 5 games. Had one that last night that started that 6-run inning. Pickoff to second. Clark dives in. He's safe. Good pickoff move from Harrison. Clark back in time.
Clark lucky they were just sort of teetering off that second base bag. There would have been a huge second out. Doesn't get the call. 3-0 count here. Favada still looking for his first strike.
Favada going to square around a bunt. Play some mind games. Now pull back with Harrison. Now bunt again. Now square around. Now pull back and takes a fastball down the middle for strike 1. Saw a lot of Batavia guys do that last night against this Americans team. Kind of show bunt 3-0. See if you can get in the pitcher's head a little bit. Didn't work right there, though. Harrison unfazed. First and second, one out in the inning. Favada ahead in the count 3-1 here against Cam Harrison. Pick off another one. Clark back in diving this time.
Last time he threw a pickoff, he threw a strike immediately after, so maybe a good luck charm here.
Favada done some pitching on the mound for the Americans, but it's been a while, early June, since the last time he was out there on the mound. 3-1. Favada skies that one down the left field line. Going to be a long run, a diving play. Orlovitz can't get there. It'll fall for a base hit. Clark moves up to third. So Vinny Favada drops in a single down the left field line. Now the bases are loaded for the Americans.
Still the definition of a blooper here. Tough spot for Orlovitz. Right down that third base line. Sun certainly in effect there. Unable to make the play. So it'll bring up Nick Pass. Looking to drive in some ribbies here with the bases loaded.
So Pass at the plate. Definitely been struggling as of late. And it looks like Orlovitz is a little bit shaken up on the diving attempt. Going to be checked on by some trainers. Hope Orlovitz is okay. A 4-year guy at Ithaca College. Had a really good year this past year. Looks like he's all right. He's going to stay in the game. But kind of going back on a ball laid out full Superman style. Couldn't make the play and a little shaken up.
When we first thought, Tom, we weren't really sure if that one went fair, but just able to scrape inside the line. As you mentioned, big spot for Pass, who's been struggling recently, but trying to break that slump with an RBI or maybe even more.
Yeah, big spot for Nick Pass right here because of how much he's been struggling. You just got to get this ball in play. Most likely a run will score unless it's a pop-up or a hard shot to one of the corners. Bases are loaded, one out. Pitch to Pass. Misses, ball 1.
The two plays where the two at-bats where there wasn't a 3-0 count, Americans swung at the first pitch, but 3-2 count where Gladfelter walked into 3-1 where Favada blooped in the single. So we've seen that he's really been struggling to throw strikes so far, and Pass could essentially take that to his advantage.
1-0 to Pass. Misses upstairs. Now 2-0. Pass ahead in the count, 2-0 here against Cam Harrison. Bases are loaded, one out here at Colburn Park in Newark, New York. Harrison out of the stretch, deals the pass, low and outside, ball 3. So Nick Pass quickly ahead in the count, 3-0. Kind of nearing those Chris Davis numbers from the Baltimore Orioles, who went 0 for 54 without a hit. Nick Pass currently 0 for his last 23. Pitch, and it hits him. So Nick Pass, an RBI hit by pitch. He'll certainly take that, and the Americans take a 2-0 lead here in the top of the first.
I was going to mention Harrison already walked in a couple runners in that Jamestown game. Was in danger of doing so. Sort of does it in a different way, hitting Nick Pass. And Nick Pass has only played 13 games in the year, 7 hit by pitches, tied with Zangardi, who's played 25 games. So it just feels like balls are just tracked over. It might have a magnet in that jersey as another run comes in.
They'll bring up red-hot Anthony Savino. 3 hits last night for the Americans. Pitch upstairs, misses 1-0. So 5 straight for Harrison. Savino, like I mentioned, 3 hits last night, batting .257 here in July, just 200 on the year with 5 RBIs. Kind of been the main shortstop for the Americans this year. Pitch, Savino skies that one foul, out of play, now 1-1.
It was huge for the Americans. You mentioned last night, 3 hits. Only had 8 prior before that game. So certainly found his groove. Looking to continue it here. Sort of a bit of a hit streak. His bases are loaded.
First multi-hit game since the season opener back on June 3rd against the Ironbacks. Pitch to Savino, called strike, now 1-2.
Talked about Savino's struggle with the strikeout, trying to foul off a couple pitches. That's how Gladfelter reached safely. He fouled off a couple full counters. Trying to keep the Americans alive and get a couple more runs.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Bases are loaded, 1 out in the inning. Savino batting from the right side against the righty Harrison. He deals. Pitch. In there, called strike 3. Gets Savino down looking. A huge strikeout for the Pilots starter, Cam Harrison. And now there's 2 outs. A big at-bat coming up for Cooper Rowell.
Have the bases loaded. You already get 2 runs in, but huge strikeout from Savino. You're looking to at least put the ball in play and try and have that runner score from third. It's a big spot here for Rowell.
So Rowell at the plate, getting the start tonight at third base. Off last night, but started 2 nights ago at shortstop. Takes down upstairs, ball 1.
Rowell played in that first game. The Americans faced Newark. That was at Newark on the 12th, almost a month ago. 1 for 2 on the year. Had 4 RBIs, including 2 walks, so certainly had their number. Could do it. Could have 4 here with a grand slam. I don't know if we'll go that far, but could certainly get a couple if he gets it over the infield.
Yeah, had a bases clearing double in that game as well as a sacrifice fly. 1-0. Rowell takes it outside, called strike with a curveball. Now 1-1. Yeah, Rowell, 9 RBIs on the year, 4 of them in that game against the Pilots. CJ Snooze also had a big game against the Pilots, that one as well. Pitch. Rowell lines that one into left center. It'll fall for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Favada. He'll score as well. It's a 2-out, 2-run single for Cooper Rowell. The Americans extend their lead 4-0 now against the Pilots here in the top of the first.
If there was a roof in Newark, New York, they'd have to hang his jersey in the rafters. 6 RBIs against Newark so far on the year. Americans have blown this game open, now up 4-0.
A huge hit, not only for Rowell, but for the Americans, who really have been struggling as of late. They lost their last 9 in a row, so to put on 4 in the first is huge for a team like this at this moment. Pitch to Munakata is in there, called strike. A get-me-over curveball from Harrison. Just shows you how tough this Pilots team is with pitching, just like the Americans. Harrison just pitching a couple days ago against the Tarp Skunks kind of blew that game in the 9th. Not exactly how he wanted it to go. Count 0-1 now against Munakata. Fastball misses outside, now 1-1. Harrison taking the mound in the 9th, up 9-6, thinking just got to close this one out, and unfortunately just didn't go his way. Walked 4 guys and was pulled out of the game. Got some now revenge out there tonight. Still a long game left, a lot of game left to play though. 1-1 to Munakata. This got out of play. Now 1-2.
Batting 190 on the year, 4 for 21 on the year, all singles. 6 RBIs though, so when he gets out on the barrel, he's certainly able to do some stuff. Munakata really has struggled with the strikeout, 9 strikeouts to 3 walks. Trying to continue this inning.
Pitch to Munakata outside. Good block from Brazel. He's done a good job back there tonight.
Saved 2 wild pitches already, and that one should be able to put the runners moving over to second and third.
We say tonight, only the top of the first. That's how much he's really impressed back there. Brazel, a guy from Bishop State Community College, now in the transfer portal, really showcasing his skills at the catcher position. Munakata just played in 2 of the last 10 games for the Americans, but you mentioned it. The RBI total up there for the amount of times he's played. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Harrison gets out of the inning with a strikeout against Munakata. Not before the Americans tack on 4 runs on 4 hits. No errors in the inning and 2 runners left on base. We've played a half an inning, and the red, white, and blue lead the Pilots 4-0 here at Colburn Park, looking for their first win in the last 9 games.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria.
Back here at historic Colburn Park in Newark, New York, as we'll take a look at the Pilots' starting lineup tonight here as they're coming up in the bottom of the first. Leading off for Newark is Miles Castillo, a shortstop from Somerset, New Jersey. Matthew D'Ottavio batting second, the designated hitter. Colden Forney from Fordham University will get the start in the 3-hole tonight, playing second base. Power hitting second baseman, you don't see that too often, but with the Pilots, you certainly see it out of Forney. Michael DeRosa, named a midseason All-Star. He'll bat fourth, playing first base. Connor Wright, the extra hitter. Jeremy Sosa from Manhattan University out in center. Liam Wagner in right. Luke Brazel behind the plate. Lucas Orlovitz at third. Justin Dandino in left. And Cam Harrison on the mound. So that'll bring up Miles Castillo, who's been one of the more consistent hitters in the lineup tonight for the Pilots. Castillo riding a 4-game hitting streak in those 4 games. He's 6 for 10. Here we'll face off against Owen McCandless. First pitch from McCandless misses for a ball, 1-0.
McCandless, a teammate with Alex Glasscock at Middlebury, part of that 2025 NESCAC run. Guy who's pitched 9 appearances, 1-0 on the year, 8.56 ERA. Looking for good stuff from here. So that counts now 2-0.
Yeah, quickly behind Castillo, who's got 3 stolen bases on the year. 2-0 from McCandless. Pitch, fastball, just misses. Now 3-0. McCandless still yet to throw a strike here in his first outing in red, white, and blue. McCandless, a guy all the way from Denver, Colorado. Working out of the stretch. 3-0 to Castillo. Fastball just misses low. Those seem awful close. McCandless just missing.
Americans and the Pilots both have had the leadoff runner reach. Americans had him come around to score. Certainly not something good to see if you're an Americans fan trying to have a quick 1-2-3 inning, but leadoff runner gets on.
So that'll bring up D'Ottavio, the designated hitter tonight for the Pilots. Castillo off first. Like I mentioned, 3 steals on the year. Pitch inside, just missing. I mean, these pitches are just off the plate, cannot be more than a few inches. So McCandless, 5 straight balls here in his first outing in red, white, and blue.
Yeah, as you mentioned, 5 straight balls. Certainly could be 3 strikes, could be 2 strikes. I feel like he has at least clipped his own at least one of these times.
McCandless pitch, fastball, that one in there. There's his first strike in the books. Now 1-1. D'Ottavio batting from the right side. Hitting .310 on the year. He's 6 for his last 12. Multi-hit game in 3 of his last 4. Castillo off first. There he goes. Pitch. D'Ottavio lays down a bunt. McCandless will field, flip to first, and get the out. Close play. D'Ottavio made it, but nice job by Owen McCandless fielding and getting him out at 1.
Yeah, put out from the 2 new Americans here. Pitcher and the first baseman. No chance to get him out. Good bunt to move the runner over into scoring position for out number 1.
Good bunt from D'Ottavio. Almost beat it out. But better defense from McCandless. Able to scoop and make the play at first. Pilots just 4 wins on the year, so showing how much they really want this one. Able to lay down a bunt here in the first inning with the number 2 hitter in the order. Pitch to Forney in there. A called strike one by McCandless, who's now finding his groove a little bit. Ahead in the count 0-1.
Pilots did score in the first inning and that the game on June 21st. The only problem was the Americans scored 5 as well. Sort of similar situation to this, trying to at least tack on the Americans' lead any way they can.
Forney at the plate, the team leader in RBIs. Castillo at second, being held on by Savino. McCandless coming set, pitching from the right side against the righty. Forney outside, misses. Shows you just how much the Pilots have really been struggling this year. This guy at the plate, Colden Forney, leads the team in RBIs with 9 RBIs on the year, not even double digits, whereas Matt Gancher held the team lead for the Americans, 24 RBIs. Evan Brock, the team lead for the Muck Dogs, two sides of the spectrum, 38 RBIs. Pitch, down and away, gets bypassed. So Castillo will move up to third with 1 out here in the bottom of the first.
Castillo was in between second and third. If that ball doesn't get away, Pass potentially has a chance of trying to throw him out in between the bases, but wild pitch here for McCandless. Runner now at third base.
So McCandless looking to strand Castillo at third, hoping for a strikeout or a pop-up here against Forney. Count 2-1. Pitch from McCandless. Fastball chopped to third. Rowell charging. He'll go to first or on the run. A high throw. It gets by Sabella at first. Up the right field line. Forney will head to second and advance on the E5 by Cooper Rowell over there at the hot corner.
Pilots will score in this first inning. Rowell sort of took a minute to throw the ball. Knew there was no chance. Castillo was running on contact. Tough throw there. No chance to get the out at first base. Now runner back at second again. Still only 1 out.
Another error from this Americans defense. Had 3 in the game last night at Batavia. Been a real struggle for them all season long. McCandless checks Forney at second. Deals outside. Fouled off by DeRosa. Now 0-1. Michael DeRosa from Goshen, New York. Currently in the transfer portal. Attended St. John Fisher in the fall. And in the spring, obviously, but did not play this past year at Fisher. Behind in the count 0-1. 1 out now in the inning. McCandless out of the stretch. Checks Forney at second. Delivers. Fastball fouled right back. DeRosa all over it with the bright yellow batting gloves.
DeRosa still looking for a hit against the Americans. 0 for 5 in his 2 appearances against them in June. Looking for an RBI as well.
DeRosa 5 for his last 12. These top 3 guys, 4 guys in the order for the Pilots have been hot as of late. The rest of the lineup, though, been really struggling. Forney off second. McCandless checks him, delivers. Fouled straight back. Once again, out in front. So DeRosa staying alive now. 0-2 against McCandless. Couple other good games tonight across the PGCBL. One of those, Batavia-Jamestown in Jamestown. Something to keep an eye on. Number 1 and 2 seeds facing off. McCandless out of the stretch. Here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on a miss, strike 3. Gets DeRosa, the midseason all-star, down on strikes for the second out of the inning.
DeRosa doesn't strike out often. Only 4 strikeouts in 38 appearances. So only strikes out 9% of the time. Strikes out there. Americans try to leave it a 4-1 ball game. 1 more out, though. That's right.
So Wright batting from the right side, the extra hitter tonight for the Pilots. McCandless out of the stretch, checks on Forney, delivers pitch number 1, bounced foul. Now 0-1. These Pilot hitters not afraid to hack here at the first pitch, getting after it at the plate. Down 4-1 against the Americans.
Kind of right. Similar to Rayasara Munakata, who doesn't have a lot of hits, but when he does, runs come in. 3 hits, 3 RBIs. He's usually able to get some runners in if he does make contact.
McCandless deals. Outside, misses with the heater. Now 1-1. Americans 2-0 against the Pilots this year. 2 10-run victories, one at Sal Magdy Stadium and one right here at Colburn Park. McCandless against Wright. Here's the 1-1. Outside misses, now 2-1. McCandless going to be a junior at Middlebury in the fall. 6'5", 195 pounds. Checks on Forney, delivers a fastball. That one's popped up into shallow center. Going to be a long run for Zangardi. He won't get there. It'll fall for a base hit. That's a 2-out RBI single for Connor Wright, and the Pilots make it 4-2 here against the Americans in the bottom of the first.
Similar to the play from Vincent Favado, just right between all those outfielders for the Americans, just drops. Another hit will come in. More importantly, another run as well. It's a 4-2 ball game.
So kind of getting jammed with the fastball. Wright able to fight it off and pop it into shallow center for an RBI single. It'll bring up Jeremy Sosa, the center fielder for the Pilots. First pitch, misses low and away with a off-speed pitch. McCandless quickly behind 1-0 against Sosa. McCandless out of the stretch. Wright not much of a lead at first. Deals up and in for ball 2 with a fastball. Connor Wright from Raleigh, North Carolina, Cypress College, all the way in Orange County in California, off of first. Sosa at the plate from the Bronx. Here's the 2-0. Inside, just misses. McCandless behind now. 3-0 getting squeezed heavy. By the home plate umpire. Here's the 3-0. Outside corner. Gets the call with the fastball. Now 3-1.
Canada's trying to avoid a walk here. He has one so far in this game.
4-2. The Americans over the Pilots here in the bottom of the first. 3-1 count. McCandless deals. That one's chopped to the left side off of Rowell's chest. Gladfelter will field, throw across the diamond, but not in time. It gets by Sabella. And the runners will move up an extra 90 feet. An E6 by Justin Gladfelter. Probably better just holding on to that baseball because Sosa had that beaten out.
Gladfelter was just doing too much there. As you said, would have gotten in easily instead of having first and second. Now second and third, and a single can tie this ball game up, Tom. Numerous runs, numerous hits with 2 outs so far against McCandless.
So a chopper off Rowell's chest, able to keep it in front of him, which saved a run. But Gladfelter picks it up and throws it across the diamond, which he probably didn't need to do. That'll bring up Liam Wagner. Pitch. Low, misses ball 1. McCandless just getting squeezed into a shoebox zone right now. I mean, those pitches awful close. Count is 1-0. 2 outs now in the inning. Second and third. 4-2. The Americans over the Pilots. Wagner at the plate, batting from the right side against the righty McCandless. Deals. Low and away. That one called a strike. Now 1-1.
Those pitches looked identical, Tom. Wagner, 2 RBIs on the year, could double that with a single, and more importantly, tie this ball game up.
Wagner getting the start in right field tonight for Newark, who's won just 4 games on the year. Wagner, a guy from Hingham, Mass. Pitch, chopped fouled on the third baseline, now 1-2. First start of the year for McCandless, not having the first inning he dreamt of. Already 25 pitches in the inning, and runners at second and third here with 2 outs and 2 runs already in. 2 errors in the inning as well. Sosa off second, right off third. Wagner at the plate, down 1-2. Pitch from McCandless. skied out to left field. Going to be a long run for Munakata. He won't get there. It's over his head. One run is in. Here comes Sosa. He'll score easily. And Liam Wagner ties this game up with a double to left field. 4-4.
And Mr. Wagner's on second. That brings up from Thomasville, Alabama, number 6, the catcher, Luke Bazal.
Pilots certainly came to play here, Tom. They didn't have a single run in that loss to Elmira last night. Already 4 in the first. So that went over the head of Munakata.
Yeah, Newark, a tough loss yesterday, like you mentioned, 23-0 against the Pioneers. Just had 6 hits in the ball game, 3 walks, 12 strikeouts. McCandless here against Luke Brazel. Pitch, chopped foul for strike 1. So McCandless first inning, giving up 4 runs, but only one of them earned with 2 errors in the inning. Not getting too much help from his infield at the moment, after getting some help from the offense in the top of the first. Count 0-1 here against Brazel. Pitch. This is in the dirt. Good block from past. Able to keep Wagner from getting to third. McCandless, 6'5", out there on the mound. Same height as the Americans' first baseman tonight in Michael Sabella. 2 tall guys just joining the team. Pitch outside, misses. Now 2-1. McCandless behind.
Both pitchers so far in this game have thrown a multitude of pitches. 32 for Harrison, 28 for McCandless. Certainly not quick first innings for either.
Count is 2-1. 4-4 ball game. 2 outs now in the bottom of the first. Pitch from McCandless. Chopped to the left side. Going to be a tough play for Gladfelter. Backhand throws across his body at first. Sabella with the pick. But Brazel beats it out. An infield single for the Pilots, and the inning continues.
So with runners on the corners, that brings up from Golden.
Gladfelter able to snag it from going in the outfield, but runners at the corners, as you mentioned. So it brings up Lucas Orlovitz, who had that ball just fall over his head in left field to have Vincent Favada reach.
That'll bring up Lucas Orlovitz, like you mentioned. Pitch, inside corner, just misses, called ball number 1. Runners at the corners now for the Pilots after the infield single from Brazel. 3 hits in the inning, 2 errors as well. McCandless tossing from the right side against the righty Orlovitz. Pitch inside, runner goes, passes, throw down, it's high, caught by Gladfelter, will throw down home, and it's skipped by past. Another run scores for the Pilots. They now lead 5-4 against the Americans after the E6 throw from Gladfelter.
Orlovitz really crowded the plate, so also hurt pass throw as it went inside, but now another run comes in. Ironback's up 5-4. Not Ironback, excuse me. Pilots up 5-4.
Yeah, so that one going to be most likely scored an E6 on the throw from Gladfelter back home. Past his throw was high as well, so depending on how that scored, but could be 2 errors on the play. A stolen base at second from Brazel, who's now at third. Wagner scored on the play. Pilots up 5-4. Pitch to McCandless, misses low for ball 1, from McCandless, I should say. Now 2-0 against Orlovitz. Orlovitz at the plate. Where's number 27 for the Pilots, just hitting 111 on the summer here in 18 games played. 2-0 to Orlovitz in there, called strike. Now 2-1. Quite an inning here for the Pilots, who now have taken the 5-4 lead. Pitch from McCandless, swung and a miss, strike 2. So count now even at 2. 2 outs in the inning. Pitch from McCandless, chopped foul, so now it'll stay full. 3-2. Orlovitz, a really good year this past year at Ithaca College, Division III school in Ithaca, New York. Hit .382, a .640 slugging percentage, 4 homers on the year for the Bombers. Here's the 3-2. Taken outside, ball 4, another batter on base for the Pilots, and now they've batted through the first 9. All have reached base safely. That'll bring up Justin Dandino, who bats from the left side.
Dandino looking to reach and have Pilots bat around in this bottom of the first. So already up by 1.
First and third, the Pilots looking to tack on their lead. There goes Orlovitz off first. Pass is thrown down. Now cut off by Gladfelter. He's going to go home with it, and it's thrown wild again. Another run scores for the Americans. Orlovitz moves up to third. The 4th error of the inning. 5th error of the inning, excuse me. Now makes it a 6-4 game.
Those 2 games straight against the Ironbacks, Americans had no errors and had a couple yesterday, but not until the 5th. 5 errors so far in this game. That's more than their runs, more than their hits. Just a miserable game for the Americans defensively when you feel like this inning should have been over 5 batters ago, Tom.
Yeah. So Orlovitz stole second on the play. Then Gladfelter made a good play to cut it off. That one just misses outside for ball 2. Gladfelter's 3rd error in the inning. Pitch, checks his swing. It's called a strike against Dandino. So the Pilots ahead 6-4. They've had 3 hits in the inning, but the Americans' defense hasn't helped. 5 errors here in the bottom of the first. McCandless on the mound for the red, white, and blue. Behind the count 2-1, pitch outside corner. Just misses.
Interesting choice, Tom, to switch Savino and Gladfelter at second base and short. Savino's really been that primary shortstop. Opted to go with Gladfelter. He's really struggled so far with those errors.
3-1 pitch from McCandless. Ball 4. Pitch is not missing by much. Really getting squeezed out there on the mound.
Rochester, New York, number 16, the shortstop, Miles Castillo.
That'll bring back the top of the order, and Miles Castillo and Dan Brick will take a walk to the mound after we're not even out of the first here.
Fans, on behalf of his family and the Pilots organization, we'd like to wish Sonny a happy 85th birthday. Happy 85th birthday, and we hope you have many
42
more
pitches so far from McCandless. You really can't blame him here. Albeit he's given up a couple of hits, but 6 runs, only 1 earned, Tom. The 3 walks certainly been an issue as well, but you could easily think this should be a 4-1 ball game. The Americans probably be midway through their top of the second.
Enter to win an item from concessions. Baseball chili will be drawn during the bottom of the 3rd inning. Enter to win an item from the concessions. And of course, a 50-50 raffle will be drawn during the 4th inning. Thank you.
So Dan Brick talks things over with McCandless. Now 2 outs in the inning. Runners at the corners
We'll be doing it after the 2nd inning, so get out here about the middle of the 2nd inning.
for the Pilots.
We're running the bases.
One more run for the Pilots. They'll tie the amount of runs they had in their 2 games against the Americans. 3 in the first, 4 in their second game. Able to get over McCandless. Certainly defensive errors have helped them as well.
Home plate umpire marking down the mound visit for the Americans. Backtracking the inning. The last 5 Pilots batters have all reached 2 walks, an infield single, an error, and a double. McCandless out of the stretch, runners at the corners, which has been a tough situation for the Americans. See how they handle it now. That one lined to the left side. Gladfelter plays it on a hop. We'll go the short way and get it out at second and finally put an end to the long bottom half of the first in the inning. The Pilots score 6 runs.
45-minute first inning, Tom. Certainly, and a long time on the bench for Harrison. Gave up 4 hits. His runs all certainly earned. Americans trying to hit all over him again and get this lead back.
Americans coming to bat here in the top of the second at Colburn Park. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family-owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics.
Back here at Colburn Park in Newark, New York, Evan Shank to lead things off for the Americans. First pitch from Cam Harrison is called a strike, fastball on the outside corner. 0-1. Shank, the extra hitter tonight for the Americans. Struggling at the plate as of late, 1 for his last 23. Pitch, cut on and a miss, strike 2. Shank, 4 strikeouts last night against the Muck Dogs, who lead the PGCBL in ERA as a team. Pitch to Shank, hit to the left side, fielded by Orlovitz. He'll go across the diamond and make the first out of the inning.
Up next, we go to the top of the order. Number 27, the shortstop, Justin Gladfelter.
So Gladfelter looking to get some revenge after a tough bottom half of the first on defense. Now at the plate. He reached his first time up with a walk. He took the words right out of my mouth.
Walked on 8 pitches, so certainly made Harrison work for it, trying to do the same thing again here. Certainly curious to see if they move him around in that infield here to the bottom of the second.
Pitch misses in the dirt for ball number 1. On the mound for the Pilots is Cam Harrison. He wears number 13 from Mooreville, Mississippi. Pitch to the first inning, giving up 4 runs on 3 hits. Pitch outside, misses. 4 hits, excuse me. Now behind in the count, 2-0 against Gladfelter. In that first inning, a Gladfelter walk, a Xander Clark single, and a Michael Sabella single got the Americans on the board. 2-0. That one misses, now 3-0. These pitches real close. Home plate umpire tonight having a really tight strike zone.
Feels like the strike zone's the size of a catcher's mitt today, Tom.
3-0. Upstairs, misses ball 4. So Gladfelter, 2 at-bats in 2 innings and 2 walks as he's on with 1 out in the inning. That'll bring up Xander Clark. Wears number 5 for the Americans. Playing right field tonight. Lined a single his first time up in right center field. Gladfelter off first. There he goes. pitch in the dirt. Good pick from Brazel. Throw down. Gladfelter beats it. He's stolen the bag for the first time since June 30th.
We've talked about it when Gladfelter reaches. Certainly a stolen base to follow. Only took one pitch to get into scoring position now for Xander Clark. America trying to get this lead back. Runner on second. Certainly going to help.
Clark, pitch. Takes outside. Called. Strike. Now 1-1. Clark on the year batting 147. Been robbed at the plate as of late. Had a couple hard hits in his last couple games right at guys. Feeling a hit was coming, and it did in the first at-bat of the game for Clark. Now in his second at-bat here in the second inning. Gladfelter off second in scoring position. 1 out. Pitch to Clark outside. Misses. Now 2-1. Harrison behind in the count against Clark. Clark played 24 games this past year for Fayetteville Tech Community College in North Carolina. Had a .258 batting average, 2 homers, and 15 RBIs. Pick off to second. Gladfelter dives back in time. Seen that often tonight. The spin move from Harrison. Throw down to second.
Certainly one of the better pickoff moves we've seen in a while. He's nearly got Gladfelter and a couple times nearly tagged out Clark.
Pitch to Clark. Upstairs misses. Gladfelter big secondary lead. Clark way ahead now 3-1. The Americans trail the Pilots 6-4 here at Colburn Park. Niagara Falls looking for their first win in 9 games. Pilots looking for their first win in 4. Count 3-1. Harrison deals to Clark outside. So the Americans are set up here first and second. 1 out in the top half of the second.
So with 2 men out, that brings up number 3, the center fielder, Dominic.
After getting Shank out on 3 pitches on that tie 3, walked the next 2 guys on 9 pitches. Zangardi popped out his first time up, was that huge first out, trying to take some pitches he's seen that Harrison really struggling to throw in the zone.
Zangardi named one of those midseason all-stars for this Americans team, batting from the left side. Squares around a bunt, but pulls back. Brazel picks it. Now Gladfelter caught between second and third. Brazel runs it down, throws to second. Now on to third, and Gladfelter tagged out. A mental error from Justin Gladfelter. He's thrown out at third. Thought the ball got by Brazel at the plate. Took off for third, but was dead in his tracks as Brazel throws him out for the second out of the inning.
We've seen him do that a couple times this year, Tom, just getting too active on the base path. There is such a thing. Great play there from Brazel, not letting him get back in safely or move to third. Good pick from Orlovitz at third to tag him out.
So Zangardi at the plate. Ahead in the count 1-0. Xander Clark now off of first base. Pitch. Taken outside. 2-0. Good hitters count here for the incoming freshman at Niagara University. Zangardi, a good power hitting outfielder. 10 RBIs on the air with a homer. Pitch misses way up and outside. Now 3-0. Harrison not only been wild as of late, but definitely wild all year, especially in that last outing, like we mentioned, against the Tarp Skunks. Came in and walked 4 guys, didn't get a single out, then was taken out of the game.
That's the issue with Gladfelter being too active on the base pass. 3-0 count here to Zangardi. One more pitch could be bases loaded with 1 out.
Pitch. Zangardi gives that one a ride to right field. Going back is Wagner, and he makes the play to rob Zangardi of extra bases for the third out of the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the second. The Pilots coming to bat against Owen McCandless here at Colburn Park.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply, Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com.
We're now in the bottom of the second here at Colburn Park. The Pilots coming to bat. It's Matthew D'Ottavio, the two-hitter in the order against Owen McCandless. A nightmare of a bottom of the first for the Americans. The Pilots scored 6 runs on just 3 hits, but 5 errors from the Americans' defense.
D'Ottavio had a hit in the first 2 games the Americans played the Pilots, trying to make it 3 straight against the red, white, and blue.
D'Ottavio batting from the right side. He had a sacrifice bunt in the first inning. That feels like ages ago. McCandless from the right side deals. Outside misses, now 1-0 against D'Ottavio. Batting .429 so far in the month of July. Ahead in the count 1-0. Pitch from McCandless. Inside misses, now 2-0. D'Ottavio plays his collegiate ball at Georgian Court University in Lakewood, New Jersey, a Division II school. This past year hit .269 in 34 games, had 25 hits, 13 RBIs. Count now 2-0. McCandless out of the stretch, deals outside, now 3-0. He's behind. Really tough first outing here for McCandless. Getting squeezed a little bit at the plate with a small strike zone, but also his defense behind him not helping too much, with 5 errors already in the ball game in just 1 inning. 3-0 to D'Ottavio. That one's a strike. Now 3-1. McCandless, a tall guy out there on the mound, throws over the top with the fastball. Not overpowering, but surely looking to get outs. Here's the 3-1. That one misses, ball 4. Another walk issued for the Americans.
First brings up from Pittsburgh, New York, with number 32, the second baseman, Colin Forney.
That'll bring up Colton Forney. Plays his collegiate ball at D1 Fordham University in the Bronx. Just played 2 games this past year. No hits and 3 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. Going to be a sophomore there in the fall. D'Ottavio off first. Pitch from McCandless. Chop back to him. Fields will go to first for the out and make it. Nice play from McCandless. That's back-to-back innings for the Americans. Pitcher making an out on the pitcher fielding practice play.
Both times the runner does move forward, so runner in scoring position again with 1 out.
Yeah, so now D'Ottavio at second for arguably the best hitter in this Pilots lineup, Michael DeRosa. McCandless out of the stretch. Checks on D'Ottavio, who got a good jump. He takes off for third, and pass will have no play. D'Ottavio able to take third on a vault steal. And now the Pilots have a runner at third here with 1 out in the bottom of the second.
Pilots have had great jumps this whole game. We've seen some Orlovitz once again there. Runner in the scoring position, still at third base. It's just struggling to throw anyone out.
That'll bring the infield in for the red, white, and blue. Count is 1-0 here against DeRosa. Pitch. That one lined into center. Coming on Zangardi. He'll have to play it on a hop. So it's a 1-out RBI single for Michael DeRosa. Makes this game 7-4. The Pilots lead.
Bring up from Raleigh, North Carolina, number 30, the ex-hitter, Connor Wright.
Another hit again off McCandless, hit number 4. He's giving up 7 runs here. It's insane.
Only 2 of them earned. Pitch from McCandless. Chopped to short. Gladfelter fields, goes to second for one. Savino on to first. In the dirt, a good pick from Sabella, but he's safe. He beats it out.
Great pick from Sabella so that ball doesn't get away. It looked like it was a tailor-made double play ball. Got to put it on his knees. That's lead off at the very least.
So now 2 outs in the inning. The Americans get one on the fielder's choice. A 6-4 put out. So Connor Wright now at first. DeRosa retired on the play. Here's Sosa. Pitch from McCandless up and in, called a strike with the fastball. Caught the inside corner for strike one.
Americans have Adam Weiss pitching in the bullpen now. Certainly expecting to come in a little bit later.
Ramos chops that one to the left side. Good pick by Rowell. Goes to first in the dirt. Sabella picks it. He's been tested over there at first base all night, but makes the play to save an error from Cooper Rowell. There's the third out of the inning. So in the inning, the Pilots tack on another run on 1 hit. No errors in the inning. And 1 runner left on base. The Americans coming to bat here at Colburn Park, trailing the Pilots 7-4. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com.
So the Pilots lead the Americans 7-4 here at Colburn Park in Newark, New York. The Americans beat the Pilots back on June 12th here at Colburn, 13-3. The Americans beat the Pilots 14-4 by 10 runs on June 21st at Sal Magley Stadium. So 2 10-run victories for the Americans this season. Now they trail the Pilots 7-4 as we head to the top of the third.
Attendance winner is Don. Sorry, I don't have the last name, but Don, if that's your name, go down and get something.
So Sabella will lead things off for the red, white, and blue, playing first base. Had a nice pick over there at first, last half inning. Been tested over there all night tonight already. We've only played 2 innings.
Now batting number 49 is
Sabella and Favada behind him have 2 of their 4 hits. Going to start a rally again and have it similar to that first inning.
Pitch to Sabella, taken outside for ball 1. Yeah, only saw 1 pitch in his first at-bat and grounded it through the left side for a base hit. It's currently in the transfer portal, looking for a new place to play next year. 1-0 in the dirt, now 2-0.
Both teams have 4 hits, only difference of those 5 errors in 1 inning or less.
3 walks worked by the red, white, and blue so far tonight. 2-0 to Sabella, grounds it to the right side. It's foul. Now 2-1. Sabella, a switch hitter, will catch and play first. This past year at Wilkes, played in 37 games. Hit .258, had 4 doubles, 16 RBIs. 2-1. Pitch outside corner, now 3-1. Sabella way ahead. A good hitter's count here for the Americans' first baseman.
Pitcher's struggling to throw in his zone. 7 walks between them, 3 for Harrison, 4 for McCandless. Going to tie up handless here with walk number 4.
Pitch in the dirt, ball 4. So a leadoff walk worked by Michael Sabella. And he's on for the second time tonight.
Americans get the leadoff runner again, which they did in the first inning, and able to have good things follow.
That'll bring up Vinny Favada, the designated hitter tonight for the Americans. Had a pop-up single down the left field line his first time up. Pitch in there, called strike with a curveball. Favada, a guy that really relies on a big load at the plate. Kind of rocks back and goes. Pitch in the dirt, now 1-1. Favada plays his collegiate ball at Thomas Jefferson University, a Division II school. This past year, played in 16 games, had 14 hits and 61 at-bats. Pick off the first, Sabella back in time. Favada actually redshirted his freshman year at Division I, Mount St. Mary's. Now at Thomas Jefferson. Pitch. Swung on a miss. Strike 2. Favada way out in front, waving at a curveball.
Play before the pickoff back to first. Sabella only 3 stolen bases in 37 games played, but thought he might steal.
Working out of the stretch is Harrison. Deals to Favada. Misses low and away. Another ball. We'll even the count at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out here in the top of the third. The Americans trail the Pilots 7-4 here at Colburn Park in Newark, New York. Sabella off first. Pitch to Favada. Chopped to the left side and through for a base hit. So it's back-to-back runners on for the red, white, and blue. And now 7-4. They trail the Pilots, but they've got runners at first and second. Let him bring up Nick Pass, the catcher tonight for the Americans. Was hit by a pitch his first at-bat. Scored a run on the hit by pitch. 2 home runs on the year. Currently the tying run at the plate. Takes a fastball low and away for ball 1 from Cam Harrison. Another one of those pitches that looks awful close. Called a ball. So passed, ahead in the count 1-0. Sabella off second, Favada off first. Pitch, pass, checks his swing, and a curveball in the dirt. Now 1-1. He went around. Pass 2 walks in his last game back on July 7th against the Ironbacks. Pitch inside, misses with the curveball. Now 2-1. Played for the Americans last summer. Played in 30 games. Got on base at a 403 clip. Did Nick Pass. Count is 2-1. He's ahead here against Harrison. Favada off first. Sabella off second. Here's the 2-1. Outside corner misses. Now 3-1.
Home plate umpire is really not given that outside corner. That one just a little bit low. 3-1 now. We're going to get the bases loaded with no one out. Bring up Anthony Savino,
who's been really hot at the plate as of late. Would be a good get for the Americans if they were to get him to the plate with the bases loaded. Passed, ahead in the count 3-1. Harrison deals, swung and a miss, strike 2. Harrison, a nice curveball, gets past swinging, so now 3-2.
Huge out back here, really need the bases loaded. Can't get this huge first out.
Full count pitch. Popped up into center. Sosa underneath it. And he makes the play for the first out of the inning. Sabella just takes a couple steps off second, but Sosa lobs it in. And I'll bring up Savino.
Huge first out. Just in that bat. Just brings up Savino for 1 so far in this game. Struck out looking. I mean, 1 of 2 strikeouts in this game against Harrison.
So Savino at the plate, batting from the right side. First and second, one out now. Favada off first, Sabella off of second. Pitch. Swung and a miss. Strike one. A curveball. Healthy hack from Savino. Gets out in front of it and misses. Savino getting the start at second base tonight compared to his traditional shortstop position. Here's the 0-1. Takes low. Gets by Brazel. Hustles over. Picks it up. So Sabella's got to stay put at second. And Favada stays at first. Americans' first two runners on in the inning cannot strand these two guys if they want to stay in this ball game. We're in the top of the third here at Colburn Park. Savino batting from the right side against the righty Harrison. Pitch upstairs, misses. Now 2-1. Harrison just missed with the heater.
Close all day. The Americans need to put the ball in play. They did with those first two at-bats. It's that huge pop-out.
2-1 from Harrison. Misses upstairs. Now 3-1. Missed up with the curveball. Harrison wanted the call in the inner half of the plate, but didn't get it.
3-1 count to pass. Swing through a low strike. Pitch here for Savino.
Yeah, really good hitters count here for the American second baseman, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout today. First and second, one out in the inning. Pitch to Savino. Curveball swung and a miss. Strike two. Way out in front of that 12-6. Once again from Harrison. Now a big full count pitch coming.
Two full counters here. Last two at-bats. Americans trying to go their way this time.
Savino at the plate. Count is full. 3-2. Pitch. Misses. Ball 4. So throw down to third. Won't matter as it's ball 4. And that'll load the bases for Cooper Rowell, who had a base hit in his first at-bat.
Number 6, the third baseman, Cooper Rowell.
As
Rowell came up with the bases loaded last time, Tom, having two runners score. Identical spot this time. Had an error. Also the reasons Americans have those two runs. Big spot again. They're trying to cut in this lead. There's going to be a mound visit here.
yeah, Johnny Brown Jr. walking to the mound to talk things over with his starter and Harrison, who's had a long outing so far in just 2 1/3 innings.
Already 70 pitches so far. So averaging 10 pitches an out, Tom. Big conversation here with Coach Brown. Do you want to stick in this game? Do you opt to go with Harrison? Or do you try and bring in a new reliever?
Johnny Brown Jr. in his first season at the helm of the Pilots from Lyons, New York, a town about 12 minutes away from Newark. He's got over 20 years of coaching experience for various competitive programs down in North Carolina. Played college baseball at Lemoyne and semi-pro ball for multiple indie ball teams. Cooper Rowell digging in with the bases loaded once again here for the Americans. Against Cam Harrison. Deals. Rowell fouls it straight back off the glove of Brazel for strike one. Rowell came up with the bases loaded. His first at-bat came through with a single through the left side. Pitch. Checks his swing. Didn't go around. Now 1-1.
Hit that single on a 1-1 count. Looking to do it here again.
Bases weren't loaded last time he came up. My mistake. Now 1-1. Pitch. Misses upstairs. Now 2-1. So a good hitter's count now for Rowell. 2-1. Harrison behind in the count. Corners in for the Pilots. Deals to Rowell. Checks his swing. This time, did he hold? He did. So now 3-1. Rowell way up in the count against Cam Harrison. That one very close.
Three straight 3-1 counts.
Good hitters count here for the Americans. Hot corner. Here's the 3-1. In there, called strike, now 3-2. Cam Harrison on the mound in his third inning of work. Count is full, 3-2, 1 out in the inning. Savino off first, Favada off second. Sabella off third. That one misses upstairs, ball 4, an RBI walk for Cooper Rowell. He'll reach back-to-back walks for the Americans as they push across a run, make it 7-5.
Americans will get that first run back since that top of the first. Base is still loaded. Huge spot from Munakata. Struck out swinging his last time up.
Bases are loaded. Harrison deals to Munakata in the dirt for ball 1.
Talked about Munakata, albeit not having a lot of hits, a lot of RBIs. Something we chuckled at between the breaks, Tom. Munakata so far, being only 4 hits compared to Dave Harris's 28.
That one's in there, called strike.
Has more RBIs, 6-5. So it really goes to show whenever Harris is up, no one really seems to be on.
Count 1-1 outside, misses. Now 2-1. Munakata ahead in the count. He'll play his collegiate ball at Genesee Community College in the spring of 27. Munakata, a utility guy, used mostly in the outfield for the Americans. Pitch. Checks his swing, bouncing ball on the first baseline, foul. Now 2-2.
Struck out his last time up on a 2-2. Not trying to have some deja vu here.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out in the inning. Rowell off first, Savino off second, Favada off third. Harrison working out of the stretch, deals to Munakata upstairs, taking for a ball, now 3-2. That pitch just missing the top of the zone.
Huge pitch here to Munakata.
Big spot here for the Americans. 2 straight walks by Harrison. Here's the 3-2. Swung and miss, strike 3. Gets Munakata down on strikes for the second time tonight. Now 2 outs in the inning for Evan Shank, an even bigger at-bat.
Shank grounded out to third his first time up to start that top of the second. Now back in the top of the third. Trying to make some magic here.
Shank 0 for his last 5 at the plate. Pitch outside, takes ball 1. Shank, a very successful year this past year. Tompkins Cortland Community College at .295. Pitch in there, called strike with the curveball. Beauty of a deuce from Cam Harrison. Evens the count at 1. Shank this past year, 446 on base as he swings and misses there. Now 1-2. Pitch he probably wants back. Harrison working awful quickly out there on the bump for the Pilots. Count is 1-2. He's ahead of Shank. Bases are loaded for the Americans. 2 outs in the inning. Pitch to Shank. Outside, misses, gets by Brazel. Here comes Favada, and he'll score on the wild pitch. Makes it a 7-6 game now for the Americans.
Purcell's had to save a lot of wild pitches. Couldn't do it there. Certainly helps the bases are loaded, able to score easily. Is Favada. Chips into the lead once again. One more wild pitch. This could be a tie ball game, Tom.
So now Savino at third and Rowell at second. Shank base hit gives the Americans the lead. Count is 2-2, 2 outs in the inning. Pitch from Harrison upstairs, misses, now 3-2. The Americans have worked 3 walks in the inning. Sabella to lead off, and then Savino and Rowell, who are currently on base. 2 outs came off the bat of Nick Pass and Munakata strikeout. It'll be a 3-2 coming to Shank. Harrison out of the stretch, a long pause. Holding as Shank calls time.
If Shank reaches, would bring up Gladfelter, who certainly knows his way around the walk as he's done it twice so far. 1 on 8 pitches, 1 on 4.
Shank came in as a pinch hitter 2 nights ago, worked a walk at the plate, looking to do the same right here. Count is full, 3-2, 2 outs here in the top of the third. Harrison out of the stretch, another long pause, deals to Shank, swung and miss, strike 3. He gets out of it. So in the inning, the Americans score 2 runs on 1 hit. no errors, and 2 runners left on base. 2 straight strikeouts by Cam Harrison, able to get out of the inning, allowing 2 runs, but could have been a lot worse if you're a Pilots fan.
Could have been a lot worse, but Munakata and Shank both strike out on a full count on an outside pitch. Just able to hold up there, but as you mentioned, could have been worse, but Americans now down 1, looking for a quick scoreless frame for the first time this game. We head to the bottom of the 3rd.
So the Pilots coming to bat, but before that, we'll talk to you about Casella. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Casella Waste Systems for their ongoing support. Casella provides residents with professional waste control and garbage pickup in Niagara Falls that is extremely sustainable. They also offer commercial dumpster rentals for construction and other cleanup needs. Contact Casella now at 716-637-4843 to receive a price quote on garbage pickup. Let's also take a moment to recognize Salino Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric, a valued sponsor of the Niagara Falls Americans. Since its founding in 1995, Salino Plumbing has grown from a specialized plumbing company into a full-service contractor offering 24/7 emergency repairs and maintenance. Salino Plumbing's local Buffalo plumbers are licensed, experienced professionals who work with your best interests in mind. They also aim to handle calls on the same day with fully stocked service vehicles to minimize wait times. Call 716-202-9665 for all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical needs today. So a new pitcher on the mound for the Americans is number 26, Adam Weiss, now in his 4th appearance on the year.
Yeah, Adam Weiss came in relief game ago, only 1 inning of work, didn't allow a run. Certainly needs that here.
Yeah, Weiss came in, fired 9 pitches, just an inning and a third. 6 of them were strikes, did a good job against the Ironbacks. Was a pitcher coming out of high school, but unfortunately had Tommy John surgery. So kind of transitioned to an infielder only, but now doing some work on the mound this summer for the Americans. He'll face off against Liam Wagner here in the bottom of the 3rd. Weiss out of the windup, deals, curveball, chop to the right side. Savino fields with one hand, flips on to first for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Adam Weiss.
Certainly good, something good to see here for Weiss. They should play him in against the Pioneers. 2 innings of work, 4 hits, 5 runs, all earned. Outing for Weiss also went 1 1/3 against the Ironbacks on the 8th 2 days ago. Didn't allow a hit or a run. So looking more of that latter appearance from Weiss and looking to see it after that 1 pitch out.
Weiss out of the windup, deals a fastball in there, right down the chute. Called strike number 1. 1 out now in the bottom of the 3rd. Liam Wagner ground out to second. Luke Brazell at the plate. Currently hitting .207 on the summer. Pitch from Weiss. Curveball chopped to the right side once again. Sabella off his glove. Right to Weiss. He won't make the play, so it's an E3. 6th error of the ball game for the Americans as Luke Brazell reaches.
It's right in between them. He thought maybe Weiss grabs his 1 foot on the bag. 2 pitches, 1 runner on.
Orlovitz at the plate now, the 3rd baseman tonight for the Pilots. Brazell off first, not much of a threat to 1. And Weiss deals, fouled off by Orlovitz. Orlovitz plays at Powerhouse Ithaca College, strong Division III school in Ithaca, New York. Played 28 games this past year as a senior, but only played 29 his first 3 years for the Bombers. 0-1 from Weiss. Curveball outside, misses now 1-1. Weiss seems to be a lot more comfortable out there this outing and the last compared to his first 2 outings, where he gave up over 10 runs combined. Weiss out of the stretch, deals a fastball. Called strike. Passes, throw down to first. Not in time. Tag at second. Not in time either. So Luke Brazell baits Nick Paston to throw down to first and swipes second. And now the Pilots have a runner in scoring position.
Always feels like they have a runner in scoring position. Nice play from Brazell. He stole second his last time up and advanced at third on an error. Wasn't a stolen base there, but able to get in safely. Spot for Orlovitz.
So count now 1-2. Weiss ahead. Out of the stretch. Checks on Brazil a couple times at second. Now delivers. Curveball outside. Good stop from Past. Good thought from Past to throw down, but Brazil saw it immediately and took off for second. Weiss out of the stretch. 2-2 count. Pitch to Orlovitz. Hit right back to Weiss. Fields. He'll go to first with it. A nice stop by Adam Weiss and gets the out at 1. Now 2 outs in the inning.
2 huge outs. Always feel like Weiss is in the middle of the play. Third straight time. So able to move over to third. That deke was huge in that one because it potentially could have went to second for the force out. Now runner at third. Looking to get a quick out. Not have another run come in here for the Pilots.
Danado at the plate. First pitch from Weiss, a fastball outside corner, misses up and away for ball 1. 7-6. The Pilots lead the Americans. We played 2.5. Now a 2 2/3, if you want to say that. Weiss out of the stretch. Deals the 1-0 outside. Now 2-0 to Danado. Americans hoping to get some length here out of Weiss. Out of the bullpen.
Danado walked his first time out. John Fielder's came on the walk and was out on the fielder's choice from Castillo.
Pitch from Weiss. Curveball down and in. Good stop from Pass. That just saved a run. But the count is now 3-0 against the Pilots' left fielder tonight. Danado from Sudbury, Ontario, plays his collegiate ball at Marshalltown Community College. Didn't play this past year. Fastball in there, called strike from Weiss. Danado played for the Sudbury Voyagers out of Ontario last summer. Hit .328, 13 doubles last summer. It'll be a 3-1 from Weiss. Pitch, outside corner, called a strike, now 3-2. Big pitch coming here from Adam Weiss, looking to get out of the inning unscathed. Brazil off third. Pitch 3-2, curveball in there. Called strike 3. Adam Weiss comes back down 3-0 to get a strikeout looking of Justin Danado. And the Americans are coming to bat here in the top of the 4th against Cam Harrison and the Pilots.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka Insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics.
Back here at Colburn Park, the home of the Newark Pilots. Cam Harrison back out there for his 4th inning of work. After a big strikeout from Adam Weiss, gets them out of the inning, and that'll bring up Justin Gladfelter, the top of the order for the red, white, and blue.
His first strikeout couldn't have came in a bigger spot there. The runner at third.
Pilots left one runner on in the inning. Gladfelter now at the plate. 2 walks today. Harrison out of the windup, deals up and in for ball 1 against Gladfelter.
Gladfelter's walked his first 2 times he's up. Certainly would enjoy it like that again as he came around to score in that top of the first.
Pitch, curveball, way outside, not even close. Now 2-0. Harrison got really sharp movement on that curveball, but tougher to control when it is that sharp. So now behind in the count 2-0 as he wipes his hand off on his baseball pants. Behind 2-0 here against Gladfelter.
90 pitches so far. We already saw a mound visit already. Curious as to how long we'll see Coach Brown use them.
Pitch to Gladfelter, another curveball. Now 3-0.
91 pitches, only 38 strikes, Tom. Neither pitcher has found his own. Honestly, the one who really did has been Adam Weiss.
Harrison out of the windup, deals the 3-0 to Gladfelter. Curveball upstairs, misses. Third walk of the ball game for Justin Gladfelter as he leads off the top of the 4th here with a base on balls.
Able to get into second base easily, but then had that huge put out in between second and third where Purcell caught him. Able to get into second easily. Just after that was the issue.
That'll bring up Xander Clark. Clark 1 for 1 today, a single and a walk. Pitch. That one's hit to the right side. Through for a base hit. Gladfelter dived in at second because he didn't know where the baseball was, stealing on the play, so he'll stop right there. But Clark, second hit of the ball game. Now he's 2 for 2.
You hear a crack of the bat, you don't know where the ball goes. They're from Gladfelter getting safe, probably annoyed because he would have gotten a third easily. But still first and second on. Zangardi 0 for 2 so far. Always feels like runners are on when he comes up. Swung at a 3-0 to end an inning. Trying to be smarter here.
Yeah, first and second, nobody out. Pitch to Zangardi in the dirt, ball 1. Back-to-back nights now, Zangardi coming up to the plate. I think number 3rd time of the night now with first and second. Had that happen twice last night as well. Pitch in the dirt. Now 2-0. Good to see Xander Clark getting after some baseballs at the plate tonight. Just 147 coming into tonight, but 2 for 2 with a walk today. Seen the ball well so far in this one. Count 2-0. Good hitters count for the American center fielder tonight. Pitch outside, way up and out. Now 3-0.
Already came around to score on his last hit. Certainly could as well. 3-0 count to Zangardi. So we're seeing an arm go to the bullpen for the Pilots.
See if Zangardi's got a green light again. He doesn't. Takes that one down and in for strike 1. So now 3-1. Zangardi hitting .343 this summer with 17 hits, 5 stolen bases. Harrison out of the stretch. Here's the 3-1. Zangardi pops that one foul. Swinging at a high heater. Could have been ball 4, but can't fault Zangardi for being uber aggressive with runners on first and second. Looking to drive in a pair and give the Americans a 8-7 lead if he does so. Good speed on the bases for the red, white, and blue. Xander Clark off first. Gladfelter off second. Zangardi calls time. Aiden Bolin warming up in the bullpen for the Pilots. Gladfelter off second. Big lead, shuffling, looking to take third, if possible. Stays there. Zangardi swings and fouls that one off, so it'll stay 3-2. Check that. Actually, Angel Gomez warming in the pen for the Pilots. An outfielder turned pitcher. Zangardi batting from the left side against the righty Harrison. Gladfelter off second, takes off early, pick off to second. Gladfelter almost made another base running mistake, but gets back in time. Sometimes a little bit too aggressive out there on the bases.
That's for sure. Really lucky that throw was on the outer half. If he'd thrown it right to that edge of that second base, he would have been out easily. Huge spot here for Harrison and Zangardi.
Pick off to second. Back in time. Almost got him again. Gladfelter really trying to swipe third with nobody out in the inning. Full count, not really sure. The thought on that can never get thrown out at third base for the first out of the inning. Pitch. Low and in. Called strike three. Zangardi down on strikes looking for the first out of the inning as Harrison gets the corner.
Huge first out on Zangardi. The base is loaded. It brings up Sabella, who's been good on both sides. A couple of hits, also multiple putouts as well.
Sabella's first game as an American right here, right now. He's 1 for 1 today with a walk. First and second, pitch. Sabella lines that one to short. Stopped out there by Castillo. Play at second. Clark dives. And he's out. So a good stop by Miles Castillo to get a force out at second. Could have been a double play if he were to squeeze it, but the Americans now runners at the corners on the fielder's choice.
Americans could be lucky there. Just squeeze would have been an easy play for Clark to get doubled up. That's why he was halfway between first going back, then sees him drop it, was out easily. Still a huge spot. Runners at the corners. Americans looking for their first lead since that top of the first.
Yeah, not really Clark's fault there. Not much he can do on a play like that, lined right at the shortstop in Castillo. But Michael Sabella coming on his first game as an American, really swinging the bat well. Another hard hit ball right there. Vinny Favada digs in. First pitch takes it upstairs for ball one.
Speaking of someone who's hit some hard hit balls, it's Favada 2 for 2 on the day. Doesn't have any RBIs. Could change that here, but has came around to score both times. Had a great game so far. Looking to make it even better.
Count is 1-0. Pick off to first. Sabella back in time. The Americans really big leads so far in this game. Been checked on the bases a lot. 391 batting or on base percentage, not batting average for the Americans this summer. Pitch from Harrison to Favada is fouled straight back for strike number 1. Count is even now 1-1. Favada, a guy with some pop, has a double and a home run on the year. Sabella off first, Gladfelter off third. Pitch to Favada in the dirt. Brazel stops it, gets right by him though. Gladfelter scampers home, and we got a tie ball game. 7-7. We're knotted up here at Colburn Park.
2 of those runs have come in via the wild pitch. That's why it's a 7-7 ball game. Now runner still in scoring position. Single can tie this. It can give the Americans the lead for the first time since that top of the first, make an 8-7 ball game.
We're only in the top of the fourth. Already 14 runs in the game. Harrison out there working from the stretch. Sabella off second. Pitch to Favada is upstairs. Now 3-1. Good hitters count now for the Americans. Designated hitter. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles tonight. Looking for a third to drive in a run. Sabella, good lead off second. Now working back towards the bag. 3-1 to Favada. Upstairs misses. Ball 4. Second walk of the inning issued by Cam Harrison.
First and second on again, passed. Able to get an RBI. Pretty unorthodox. Hit by pitch with the bases loaded. Tied him. The bases loaded. Now first and second on. Try and get another RBI here.
First pitch to pass. A ball. Snap throw to first. Favada dives in safely. Brazel showcasing that strong arm. Trying to throw out Favada for the third out of the inning. Passed. A fly out to center his last time up. Also was hit by a pitch back in the first inning that scored a run on the play. Ahead in the count 1-0 here against Harrison. Pitch, curveball outside, misses, now 2-0. Good hitters count for the Americans' backstop tonight. 2 outs now in the inning, 7-7 ball game. Pitch to pass. Upstairs misses, now 3-0. Harrison really kind of losing the zone here in his 4th inning of work. Pitch count really getting up there. See if we see him move. This could be his last batter of the game.
109 pitches so far.
Pick off the second, back in time. First and second for the Americans. 3 for 11 so far tonight with runners in scoring position. It'll be a 3-0 to Nick pass. Pitch in there, called strike. Now 3-1.
Neither team yet to have any 2-out RBIs. Run did come around to score, but that wasn't an RBI on the wild pitch.
So count 3-1. First and second for the Americans. 2 outs now in the inning. Harrison working out of the stretch. Checks on Favada. Pitch. Outside. Picked by Brazel, but it's ball 4. You wonder if that's it for Harrison? It looks like it, as Johnny Brown Jr. will walk to the mound. Past walks. 3rd walk of the inning issued by Harrison. Brown will take the ball from his starter, call in his bullpen here at Colburn Park. I'm Tom Rook alongside Ethan Duncan. You're watching PGCBL Baseball on the American Sports Network.
Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer.
Back here in the top of the 4th at Colburn Park, a new pitcher for the Pilots is Angel Gomez out there on the mound. So Cam Harrison not able to work through 4 complete innings, just going 3 2/3.
3 2/3, 6 hits, 7 runs, all earned. Unlike Canlis before him, 9 walks, 5 strikeouts, only 2 looking. Those were all really huge strikeouts and hit a batter. So it brings up Angel Gomez, yet to pitch all year, an outfielder. We've seen that from the Americans putting in position players. Newark in a dire spot. Americans 1 for 3 with the bases loaded, a luxury the Pilots have yet to have, haven't had the bases loaded yet in this game. As it'll bring up Anthony Savino, struck out his first time up, and a walk his second time. Looking for the ladder here to give the Americans their first lead in this game since the top of the first.
Bases are loaded, 2 outs in the inning. Gomez on the mound, traditionally an outfielder, plays his collegiate ball at Stetson University, or did last year, now in the transfer portal. Taking over on the mound for the Pilots. Out of the windup, deals the first pitch to Savino in the dirt, ball 1. Big spot for a hot bat in Anthony Savino.
Humongous at bat. You're just really looking at him to get 1 out and see what he can do.
Gomez rocks and deals the 1-0. Fastball bounced the other way. Fielded by Forney. He'll go the short way and get the out at second. So Gomez comes on and does his job. gets out of the inning on an Anthony Savino 4-6 fielder's choice. And there's the third out of the inning. The Americans leave the bases loaded, but tie the game in the inning, now 7-7.
Americans really would have liked to get something off of Gomez, but you were able to come back as you were down 6-4. You have 2 straight innings with a run. I wouldn't be high on Gomez here, and Weiss, who had a very quick bottom of the third, looking to do it again in this bottom of the fourth.
Weiss back out there on the mound now for the Americans. Coca-Cola is a proud supporter of Niagara Falls Americans baseball. A sweet, slightly acidic blend featuring distinct caramel and vanilla notes cut by a crisp, bubbly carbonation. Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Coca-Cola products are available in over 200 countries and territories worldwide, and you can find it at the concession stand at Sal Maglie Stadium for all of the Niagara Falls Americans home games this season. Celebrate every big play with the crisp, classic taste of Coca-Cola. So the Americans back in action tomorrow, Saturday night at Sal Maglie Stadium. Will host the Olean Oilers for the first time ever between those two teams. Olean will travel to Sal Maglie Stadium after joining the PGCBL this season, coming over from the NYCBL, the New York Collegiate Baseball League. Oilers, Americans, tomorrow night, 6:30, right here on the American Sports Network, or at Sal Maglie Stadium. $11 tickets for general admission, $16 tickets for VIP for same day.
Number 16, the shortstop, Miles Castillo.
So here's Miles Castillo to lead things off. First pitch from Weiss, in there, called strike with the curveball. Weiss quickly ahead, 0-1.
Third at bat for Castillo, grounded out, and already has a walk in this game.
That one just misses off the corner. Game tied 7-7. 6 hits for the Americans, 4 for the Pilots, 6 errors for the red, white, and blue. Pitch to Castillo, a curveball just off the plate. Weiss kind of smiling out there, thinking, how did that miss? As the count is now 2-1. The sun's starting to set out there in left field. Pitch from Weiss, fastball in there, now 2-2.
Castillo didn't think that one was a strike either, so both these players unhappy with the umpire in this at-bat.
Count even at 2, no outs in the inning. Pitch from Weiss, curveball fouled off down the left field line, so it'll stay 2-2.
Weiss had a huge strikeout, his first on the year to end that bottom of the third, looking for another one here in back-to-back innings to start this top of the fourth.
Castillo batting from the left side against the righty Weiss. Fastball outside corner, just misses, ball 3. Castillo leads this team in hits this summer with 18, also walks with 12. In the leadoff spot, 3-2 from Weiss, outside corner, just missing. Weiss again with a little smirk, thinking, wow, where did that miss? Just off the plate.
Leadoff runner comes in for the third time for the Pilots. Castillo certainly could run here. Only 3 stolen bases, but no one on the team has more than 5.
Yeah, not a super aggressive team out there on the bases, but chance for the Americans to turn a double play right here. Weiss misses up and in, ball 1 with a fastball. Weiss was an upper 80s guy out there on the mound coming out of high school, but as I mentioned, had Tommy John surgery, so converted to position player only, but now back out there on the mound for the Americans. It'll be a 1-0 coming to D'Ottavio. Pitch, fastball cut on and missed, 1-1.
Talked about it, Tom. Weiss really the only one who's found the strike zone so far in this game. 22 pitches, 13 strikes. 2 other pitchers were less than 40%.
Weiss out of the stretch, steals to D'Ottavio, upstairs, misses, snap throw to first by pass, but Castillo back in plenty of time. D'Ottavio batting from the right side, ahead in the count 2-1 here against Weiss. Pitch, curveball, doesn't get the top of the zone, just missing. Now 3-1, wondering where that really is missing, because those are close from our angle here in the press box.
I heard this umpire lose $1 every time he calls a strike, so really trying to be conservative with his paycheck.
3-1 pitch from Weiss, a fastball inside, missing. Back-to-back walks issued by Weiss, who's really frustrated out there on the mound.
That brings up from Pittsburgh, New York. Number 32, the second baseman, Colburn.
Brings up Colden Forney. Came around to score, also has an RBI in this game. For a couple more here on a single from the kid from Fordham.
7-7 ball game. Really probably a good time to lay one down if you're the Pilots, but most likely not with your 3-hitter up. He does. Bunted right back to Weiss. Fields going to go on to first for the out. Savino flips his feet, makes a nice play over there at first on the stretch, able to get it out. Second sacrifice bunt of the game for the Pilots for the first out of the inning.
They're trying to get runs any way they can. And it brings up DeRosa, certainly a guy who knows how to do so. 3 on the year, their best hitter, adding 421.
Americans will bring the infield in, looking to get it out at home here on a ground ball. Pitch to DeRosa. In there, called strike with a fastball. Weiss gets the top of the zone.
DeRosa 1 for 2 so far in this game. Struck out looking. Also has a hit for an RBI.
DeRosa batting from the left side against the righty Weiss. Pitch, swung and a miss, strike 2. Weiss quickly ahead. A good curveball right there in the dirt gets DeRosa to chase. DeRosa currently 6 for his last 14 at the plate. Struggles a little bit, though, here at Colburn Park, just hitting .231. Pitch from Weiss, chopped back in the middle. Over the head of Savino. 1 run is in. Here comes D'Ottavio. He'll score. It's a 1-out, 2-run single from Michael DeRosa. And the Pilots take a 9-7 lead. They grab the lead right back out of the Americans' hands. And now it's 9-7.
That's what you try and do when you have the infielders in. Try and chop it over their head. Exactly what you do. Now Savino at normal, where he's not normally would able to make the play, but it's over the head. Now it's a 9-7 ball game.
First pitch misses, ball 1. You can't really blame Savino for that coming in, looking to get it out at home, and the bad luck continues for the Americans. Weiss out of the stretch. Deals to Connor Wright. Gets a strike there. Now 1-1. So DeRosa, a 2 RBI single. That's his second RBI single of the night. He's got 3 ribbies on the day. Count 1-1. There goes DeRosa for second. Pass is throw down. It's a good one. But he's in there. DeRosa swipes second.
4 still on base. Pass still unable to throw a runner out so far as another runner gets into scoring position.
So 1 out in the inning. Coming on the sacrifice bunt, which proves to be successful here for the Pilots. Pitch in there. Called strike with a curveball. Now 1-2. Weiss out of the stretch. Deals. Chopped back towards the middle. Savino going to play on the long hop. Going to go to first and get the out for the second out of the inning.
Another play with that stolen base is huge. That would have been a tailor-made double play ball, but instead runner gets over to third.
That'll bring up Jeremy Soso. 2 outs in the inning now. DeRosa at third. After stealing second, able to move up 90 feet on the ground out to second. Weiss against Sosa. First pitch, a fastball bounce right back up the middle. Nice stop by Weiss. Throws on to first for the third out of the inning. So in the inning, the Pilots scored 2 runs on 1 hit. No errors in the inning and 1 runner left on base. We're going to the top of the 5th. The Americans coming to bat. They trail the Pilots 9-7 here on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka Insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com.
Back here at Colburn Park. Cooper Rowell to lead things off for the Americans. The hot corner today for Niagara Falls against Angel Gomez out there on the mound for the Pilots in his first outing of the year. Pitch to Rowell. Fastball just misses the top of the zone for ball number 1. So 16 runs across in the game. 9-7 the Pilots lead. We're in the top of the 7th. Top of the 5th, excuse me. Gomez deals out of the windup upstairs, now 2-0. So a true position player out there on the mound here for the Pilots, who are in dire need of an arm.
Or at least he will go to the bottom of the Americans lineup, but Rowell will start off, who already has 3 RBIs in this game.
And ahead in the count, 2-0 now. Pitch to Rowell outside, now 3-0. You wonder with a guy like Gomez out there on the mound, not really much pitching experience, how much he's going to be able to hit the zone and how much length he's going to be able to go in a game like this. Behind in the count, 3-0 now against Cooper Rowell, who's playing this year at Palm Beach Atlantic University. Here's the 3-0 from Gomez. That one in there, a called strike with a fastball on the outside corner. Now 3-1. Rowell digs in with a somewhat closed stance from the right side. Pitch from Gomez, up and in, ball 4. So Cooper Rowell works a leadoff walk here for the Americans. And they got a runner on with nobody out. His second walk of the game.
Americans get the leadoff walk, but you bring up Mudakata, then Shank, who have struck out swinging in 3 of their 4 plate appearances. And Mudakata to put this ball in play, struck out on a 2-2 count and a 3-2 count. It was huge in that last inning.
So Rowell off first. Nobody out in the inning. Pitch to Munakata, a fastball way upstairs, ball 1. Munakata, often an aggressive guy at the plate. Now being often selective so far tonight. Pitch upstairs, now 2-0. Gomez still having trouble finding the zone. Nobody warming for the Pilots. So this is all Gomez out there on the mound. Count is 2-0. Pitch to Munakata in there, called strike. Looks awful similar to Alex Glasscock coming into the game last night for the Americans against the Batavia Muck Dogs. Kind of a true position player out there, just firing bullets, hoping they land in the zone with not much pitching experience. Munakata bounces that one to the left side. Going to be a tough play. Castillo Fields going across the diamond. Got him. A nice play by Miles Castillo and a beautiful pick at first by Michael DeRosa. Munakata is retired for the first out of the inning.
Super close play there. Looked like it could have gone either way, but humongous first out there. Rowell at second.
Kind of a tough angle for the field umpire. Didn't really move too much to get a close angle at first. Now Rowell off second. First pitch to Shank is a fastball called strike on the outside corner. One out now in the inning. The Americans 10 hitter at the plate. Pitch to Shank, cut on in a minute, strike 2.
Gomez looking for his first strikeout here. Shank's in an 0-2 hole.
Shank really struggling at the plate. As of late, 0 for his last 6 now. Pitch from Gomez, guide out of play, foul. Now 0-2. Shank had a pinch hit at bat in the game against the Auburn Double Days exactly 1 week ago from today, and he ripped a double down the left field line. See if there's any Friday magic left in the air for Evan Shank. Here's the 0-2. Checks his swing. Did he go around? No, he did not. Count will now move 1-2. We're in the top of the 5th here at Colburn Park. Count is 1-2, 1 out in the inning. Pilots lead the Americans 9-7 in a high-scoring affair. 6 hits for the Americans, 5 for Newark. Shank batting from the right side. Swings and misses at strike 3. Evan Shank down on strikes for the second out of the inning.
Brings us back to the top of the order, number 27, the shortstop, Justin Gladfelter.
That'll bring up Justin Gladfelter. He's walked 3 times tonight. Had a rough day in the field, though. A couple of errors to his name at shortstop. Now we'll bat with 2 outs and Cooper Rowell at second, who led off the inning with a walk. First pitch to Gladfelter, taken upstairs for a ball. Now 1-0. Gladfelter, a really good year this past year at Cunata College out in California, as he takes the 1-0 outside. Now 2-0. He's looking for a new place to play this upcoming collegiate season. Played in 29 games, batted .360, a .472 on-base percentage. Had 15 steals as well, which was good for second on the team. Now he leads the Americans with 21 steals this summer. Ahead in the count 2-0. Pitch from Gomez outside, now 3-0. The Americans kind of getting more back into their bread and butter this year has been the base on balls. Ten already tonight. We're only in the 5th inning. 3-0 to Gladfelter upstairs. Ball 4, so Gladfelter 4 at-bats in 5 innings. All 4 walks.
The right fielder, Xander Clark.
Bring up Xander Clark, who has been absolutely lethal today, Tom. 2 for 2. Came around to score his first time up, was stranded, and has a walk so far. Looking to cut this lead in half or by more with Rowell at second and and Gladfelter at first.
Yeah, Clark's 2 hits, not really cheapies either. Really kind of smoked the ball to right field both times. He's batting from the left side. Runners at first and second for the red, white, and blue. Pitch from Gomez way upstairs. Now 5 balls in a row.
He's really struggling so far. Got that out with Shank, but since then has been struggling to get outs. And you'd like to bring up Zangardi with the bases loaded, even though he's had a tough game. You know he can get runners in.
1-0 to Clark. Fastball way upstairs again. Now 2-0. Gomez kind of talking to himself out there. 6 in a row now thrown by Gomez. He picks up the rosin bag, try to get some grip on his hands. We're in the top half of the 5th inning here at Colburn Park. Pitch to Clark. Inside corner gets the call there. Now 2-1. Gomez to Clark.
Gomez learned that rosin is his friend on that pitch.
Could be. A lot of pitchers use that kind of connection with the rosin and sweat to create a tacky material on the ball, able to get a good grip on it. 2-1 to Clark. Upstairs, misses now 3-1.
Pitches, 24 pitches so far for Gomez, only 9 strikes. Looking at the bases loaded here is Clark, or potentially get something if he has a pitch he likes.
Counting is 3-1. Good hitters count for a guy with 2 hits. Clark fouls that one off. Now 3-2. Good sign for Americans fans. Clark been a really good hitter all year in wins this year, batting .235 in wins, which may not seem great, but compared to his games in losses, just 1 for 17. So when Clark tends to get on base with a hit, it looks like the Americans win the game. So he's already got 2 hits tonight, looking for a third right now. Bases are loaded. There go the runners. Pitch upstairs, ball 4. Third walk of the inning issued by Angel Gomez. And the bases are now juiced for Dominic Zangardi.
Humongous spot for Dominic Zangardi. 0 for 3 today for the Americans. Flew out on that 3-0 count. Swung at a first pitch ball and just really needs to find a good pitch he likes here. So far for Dominic Zangardi in this game, he has 1 runner left on base.
As Johnny Brown Jr. will go out and make a pitching change here for the Pilots. We'll take a short break, come back. It's Zangardi against the new arm for the Pilots here on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka Insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter.
Back here at Colburn Park, Dominic Zangardi digging in with the bases loaded and 2 outs. The new pitcher for the Pilots is Christopher Babkowski out there on the mound. Out of the windup, first pitch to Zangardi. Ripped on the right field line, but foul. Zangardi out in front of a fastball from Babkowski.
Always feel like Zangardi comes up when runners are on base. Americans 1 for 4 in this game with the bases loaded. Still looking for a 2-out RBI in this game. Could come via a hit or a walk.
Sun now really sat behind the tree line. Count 0-1 against the American center fielder. Babkowski rocks and deals. Zangardi drills it down the right field line, but foul once again. Just out in front. Now 0-2 to the midseason All-Star for the red, white, and blue. A huge at-bat right here.
He's looking to clear the bases 2 straight times just down that line. Just trying to keep it fair. 0-2 count, though. Got to be careful. We've seen this umpire been pretty inconsistent on that strike 3 call.
Babkowski out of the windup. Clark off first, Gladfelter off second, Rowell off third, taken inside for ball 1. Just missing on the inside corner, about a half a ball off the plate. Good take from Zangardi. Bases are loaded here in the top of the 5th, full of Americans. Here's the 1-2 to Zangardi. Inside, misses now 2-2. Zangardi not moving an inch on a fastball inside, letting it hit him if need be.
Zangardi's been hit a couple times this year. 7, that ties him with pass. He's already hit today.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch. Zangardi pops it foul out of play. It'll stay 2-2.
Babkowski's 5th appearance, 6.75 ERA, tied with Lucas Orlovitz. His last time that he has came in to pitch, came in on the 30th against Elmira, went 1 inning, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. So went 2/3 against Auburn with a strikeout. Didn't allow any hits or runs.
Count still 2-2. Babkowski deals to Zangardi, who rips that one to right field. It's headed towards the wall, and it's off the wall. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in Gladfelter. Zangardi thinks it's a homer because it hit the LNB sign out there in right center. The umpires will review it. Looks like it might have gone over the wall, though, because of hitting that sign over the fence. And it is a home run, a grand slam for Dominic Zangardi. A bomb to right center. The Americans take an 11-9 lead in a barn burner of a game. Zangardi's 2nd homer of the year.
Couldn't have been a bigger play for Zangardi. Umpires got to rule that a home run. Saw it went over the sign, have to converse. But Zangardi, we've been talking about it. When the runners are on, can he make them pay? They've had him so many times. And on a 2-2, laces it into right center off that sign. But that's a home run. And the Americans get that lead back after a grand slammy from Zangardi.
Pitch to Sabella's upstairs. I believe the phrase you're looking for is grand salami.
I coined one.
Count 1-0 to Sabella. He drives that one to left field. Coming on is Danado. He makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning, but not before the Americans score 4 runs on 1 swing. A grand slam from Dominic Zangardi. 1 hit, no errors in the inning, and no men left on base. The Americans lead the Pilots now 11-9. Adam Weiss coming back out there on the mound for the Americans. You're watching PGCBL Baseball right here on the Americans Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the ongoing support of Blaze Brockway Contracting. Family owned and operated for over 15 years, Blaze Brockway Contracting specializes in all aspects of remodeling and renovation. Call 607-259-7607 for all of your construction and home improvement needs. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com. Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria.
So Dominic Zangardi with 1 swing makes it an 11-9 ball game. The Americans have a lead. Leading off now here in the bottom of the 5th for the Pilots is Liam Wagner. Weiss rocks and deals out of the windup. Fastball fouled straight back here towards us in the press box. Thank God there's a fence for strike 1. Weiss out of the windup, ahead 0-1 against Wagner. Pitch, curveball misses low and away. Now 1-1. Check on the battle of the number 1 and number 2 seeds in Jamestown. They're knotted up 5-5, Batavia and the Tarp Skunks. Weiss deals a 1-1, swung on a miss, strike 2. Now 1-2. Muck Dogs actually have runners at 2nd and 3rd in the top of the 7th against Colin Pence on the mound for the Tarp Skunks. They're looking to take the lead and win their 8th in a row. Pitch from Weiss at the bottom of the zone. Called strike 3. Weiss a little K-strut without a hat on, walking around the back of the mound for the first out of the inning.
Shank playing well so far in this game. Came in relief after 3 2/3 from McCandless. Or 2 innings from McCandless. So far 2 innings. Only allowed 1 hit.
Pitch from Weiss. Fastball just misses outside. Ball 1. Not really sure where that pitch is missing. It's just off the plate. Fastball. Weiss steals the 1-0. Another fastball. That one's ripped to left field. Munakata going back towards the track. And he runs it down. A nice catch for Ryotaro Munakata for the second out of the inning.
Great play from Munakata, who really has not played that much in the outfield. Had an error when he was in right, but no error there. Able to reach out and make the grab. Raul puts his hands on his head. Was shocked by that one for a huge out number 2.
Munakata looked really comfortable out there in left field on that play. Flipping his hips and making a nice catch. Weiss steals a fastball for ball 1 to Lucas Orlovitz. Orlovitz 0 for 1 today. Bounced back to the pitcher in the third and walked in the first. Pitch from Weiss. Curveball outside. Just misses. Again, that one's so close here in the shoebox of his own. 2-0 pitch outside corner. Again, just missing. Now 3-0.
Shoebox of a zone, Tom, is unfair to a shoebox. At least there's some room in there for the shoes. I mean, where is he missing on these pitches?
3-0 from Weiss. That one misses low. Ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk worked by Lucas Orlovitz. That'll bring up Justin Danado, the 10-hitter for the Pilots. Danado today 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking and a walk. Struck out his last time up, though, in the third. First pitch from Weiss, a fastball at the bottom of the zone. This time he gets it. Called strike 1. It'll be an 0-1 from Weiss coming. That one's lined to left field. Coming on Munakata, and he makes a nice running catch for the third out of the inning. 2 of the 3 outs made out there in left by Ryotaro Munakata. And the Americans coming to bat now in the top of the 6th. They lead the Pilots 11-9 in the inning. The Pilots score no runs on no hits, no errors, and just one man left on base, and Lucas Orlovitz, a walk. So nice job by Adam Weiss so far out of the bullpen.
2 earned runs, but only 1 hit on that bloop over the head of Savino. He's really been playing well in relief. Just got to keep it going. Certainly don't know who's going to be behind him, but certainly in line for the win. Americans have to keep putting up more runs.
Yeah, they lead 11-9. Christopher Babkowski back out there on the mound. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Geico, the 3rd largest auto insurance provider in the United States, for its continued support. However you define Western New York, one thing is certain: drivers encounter a wide variety of road conditions. Whether it's slick, snowy roads, congestion on the New York State Thruway, or deer on scenic back roads, you want to make sure you have the right car insurance to ensure the safety of yourself, your passengers, and your vehicle. Head to geico.com to get a fast and free insurance quote to find the coverage that best fits your needs. Huge thank you to Geico for sponsoring the team this season. So Babkowski back out there on the mound for the Pilots after giving up a grand slam last inning. The Americans have scored 7 runs in their last 3 innings on offense. And that'll bring up Vinny Favada. Favada batting from the right side against the right-hander Babkowski here in the top of the 6th. An 11-9 lead for the red, white, and blue. Pitch outside misses. Now 1-0 coming to Favada. Favada 2 for 2 today with a walk, 2 singles. Now in his 4th at-bat of the day. Pitch misses outside. Now 2-0. Muck Dogs and the Tarp Skunks still 5-5. Pitch to Favada, skied out to left field. Going back is Danado. And he makes the play for the first out of the inning. Favada gave it a ride, just got under it a little bit too much. Nice job by Danado to track it down for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Nick Past. Past 0 for 1 today. A fly out, a walk, and a hit by pitch. Doing the catching tonight for the Americans. Interested to see when that first game behind the plate comes for Michael Sabella. His pass takes strike one. Sabella, a first baseman catcher combo that can really do either at a high level. Pitch to pass. Upstairs misses, now 1-1. Pitch to the Americans' backstop is low, now 2-1. First out in the inning came off the bat of Vinny Favada. Fly out to left field. Count is 2-1. Babkowski out of the windup, deals to Past. Fouled off, caught by Brazel behind the plate, so now 2-2. Past batting from the right side. 2-2 pitch. Swung and missed, strike three. Pass down on strikes for the first time tonight. It's the second out of the inning.
Anthony Savino.
So here's the hometown hero in Anthony Savino from Niagara Falls, New York. Plays his collegiate ball at Frostburg State in Maryland. Pitch to Savino. Skied out to right center, headed for the gap. It'll fall for a base hit. It'll split the outfielders and roll all the way to the wall. Savino is going to head into second. It's a two-out stand-up double for the American second baseman. And they got a runner in scoring position now for Cooper Rowell coming up to the plate.
Another hit from Savino. 2 straight games to the hit. Now 4 hits in his last 2 games. So it brings up Rowell, the RBI machine today. Looking to add one more here. He's already at 3.
Rowell at the plate. 1 for 1, 2 walks and a single, but as you mentioned, 3 RBIs already tonight. Savino off second. Pitch to Rowell is in there. Called strike one from Babkowski. Not a guy that overpowers out there on the mound. Just looking to put the ball over the zone, which he's done so far. Pitch to Rowell is low. Ball 1. Count is even at 1. 2 outs in the inning. Savino off second. Rowell at the plate. Babkowski deals upstairs. Missing now 2-1. Babkowski checks on Savino at second. Good lead. Deals to Rowell. Rowell skies that one out to right center. Coming on Sosa. He makes the catch for the third out of the inning. So in the inning, the Americans score no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base in Anthony Savino. We've played 5.5 innings, and the Pilots are trailing the Americans 11-9. Adam Weiss coming back out there on the mound for the red, white, and blue here in the bottom of the 6th. You're watching PGCBL Baseball right here on the Americans Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Bully Hill Vineyards for their support all season long. On the south end of gorgeous Keuka Lake, you can taste over 40 wines and enjoy food at a family-friendly winery open 7 days a week. Visit bullyhillvineyards.com to learn more about what they have to offer. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park.
Looks like Adam Weiss bleeding a little bit out there on the mound back here at Colburn Park. Take a look at the standings across the PGCBL West Division. Batavia still in first, 22-6 on the year. They've won 7 in a row, including a big one last night over the Red, White, and Blue in Batavia. Jamestown 27-1. 13-2-1 on the road compared to just 7-5 at Dietrich Park in Jamestown. They've won their last 2. The Auburn Doubledays 17-10. They're in third place. 9-5 at home, 8-5 on the road. Elmira, the Pioneers, 14-13 on the year. They're in fourth place, right on the brink of a playoff spot. They actually hold a playoff spot, but I'm saying barely, with Niagara creeping up 14-14-1. The Americans actually will take on the Pioneers on Sunday in a doubleheader. The Olean Oilers, who the Americans will play tomorrow at Sal Maglie Stadium, currently sitting in sixth. They're 11-15, 11 games out of first place. Then the Geneva Red Wings, they're 11-16. Niagara Falls Americans 9-21 on the year, really struggling on the road this year and in general, but 3-11 on the road. They've lost their last 9 in a row. And the Newark Pilots, 4-20. Sitting in last place. They've lost their last 4 as well. It looks like Adam Weiss is going to come out of this game after talking to the trainers. Maybe something health related. You hope Weiss is okay. But it looks like Alex Glasscock is going to stroll to the mound and pitch for the second night in a row. Something up with Weiss, it looks like, as he'll sit down. Maybe something with the arm pointing to his elbow. Weiss had some elbow trouble in high school. Had Tommy John surgery, so could be something up there with the arm, as it looks like the trainers and Weiss decide for him to be taken out. And that'll bring on Alex Glasscock to pitch and try to get the Americans a 0 here in the bottom of the 6th. So now it's kind of an offensive game here on both sides with 2 more position players out there on the mound. Glasscock pitched last night for the Americans against the Muck Dogs. Went 2 innings in that game, but that was just his first outing of the summer. And, you know, truly a middle infielder. So interested to see how this one pans out. His second time now out on the mound. See if he's a little bit more comfortable after last night being his first outing.
2 innings pitched against the Muck Dogs, 4 runs, only 2 earned, had a strikeout. Looking for a much cleaner inning here, clinging to a 2-run lead. Certainly curious to see what happens with Adam Weiss. Certainly has been a huge pitcher in relief.
Yeah, looked good tonight as well, really.
Great.
Grooving out there on the mound. No trouble at all. Then looks like having some trouble with the elbow right now, so he's taken out of the game. 11-9, the Americans lead the Pilots. We're in the bottom half of the 6th. Almost 9 o'clock, so 2.5 hours in. Pitch misses on the outside corner. Glasscock, not sure where that one missed. Coming set behind in the count 1-0. Glasscock deals to Castillo. Fouled off, now 1-1.
Huge spot here for Glasscock. Just put in a humongous spot. The pitching, lack of pitching has been the issue for this Americans team. Curious why they opt to go with Glasscock instead of maybe Jackson Lerner. Wonder if they'll maybe have him come in later.
Castillo pops that one up on the left side of the infield. Rowell over, and he makes the play for the first out of the inning. Alex Glasscock coming out and retires the leadoff hitter for the Pilots.
Coach Brown had to sort of jog out of the way there, albeit probably wanted to run into Rowell. Heard that want to go foul, but Rowell to make a huge first out.
This is a great example of showcasing how hard the really game of baseball is, because Glasscock, a middle infielder, not throwing this ball more than 70 miles an hour out there on the mound, but still able to get outs which shows just how hard the game of baseball is and the art of hitting is at the plate. 1-0 from Glasscock. Pitch. D'Ottavio takes it inside. Now 2-0. Glasscock again really shaking his head like, where are these pitches missing? That one just off the inside corner.
I feel like every player who's played in this game has wondered that same thing.
2-0 pitch. Inside. Almost hits D'Ottavio. Now 3-0. Glasscock 4 runs allowed last night against the Muck Dogs. Behind in the count 3-0. Pitch to Matthew D'Ottavio. Outside corner gets the call. Now 3-1. Glasscock at the plate this summer, just batting 100 in 7 games. Had a base hit back on July 7th against the Ironbacks. D'Ottavio rips that one, stopped at third by Rowell. He'll go across the diamond, and he robs D'Ottavio of a base hit. Cooper Rowell across the diamond, a 5-3 putout for the second out of the inning.
Rowell doing it on both ends. Hard hit 3-1 ball line right to him. We saw a play earlier where it went off his chest, able to put the glove up just in time. Another great play at first base as well by Sabella for a huge second out. This Glasscock's certainly been aided by his defense so far, both by Rowell. One on the 5-3 and one on the pop out.
Pitch to Forney's in the dirt for ball number 1. So Glasscock able to get 2 outs in the inning so far. See what he can do the rest of the inning and the game. Forney, a guy with no batting gloves. Rare you see that anymore. Now 1-0 from Glasscock. A fastball in there, a called strike. Glasscock bringing the heat there compared to his other pitches in the inning.
We saw Gladfelter do that yesterday, took off the batting gloves in his 4th at-bat. But besides that and right here, certainly something we haven't seen at all, Tom.
Glasscock really mixing the speeds and pitches out there as a middle infielder. Now allows a pop-up. Glasscock chasing it down. He makes the play. A 1-2-3 inning for Alex Glasscock. And the Americans are coming to bat here in the top of the 7th. They lead the Pilots 11-9. You're watching PGCBL Baseball right here on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank TLC Pet Food for their continued support. Specializing in nutrient-dense recipes, TLC Pet Food offers dog and cat food with fresh ingredients and added probiotics. Find the whole life dog and cat formulas for your furry friend at tlcpetfood.com. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka Insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup.
So that'll bring up Ryotaro Munakata to lead things off here in the top of the 7th. Americans lead the Pilots 11-9. Munakata 0 for 3 today. It'll be Munakata, Shank, then back to the top in Gladfelter, who's walked 4 times tonight.
Munakata 0 for 3, but made some great plays in left field.
Takes that one upstairs for ball 1 against Christopher Babkowski out for his 3rd inning of work. Back-to-back high-scoring games for the Americans. Pitch from Babkowski. Munakata skies that one out to right center. Wagner over. He makes the play for the first out of the inning.
Next, number 10, the extra hitter, Evan Shank.
Munakata just under that one. Gave it a ride to right, but there's the first out of the inning. Evan Shank at the plate now 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeouts. First pitch from Babkowski. Outside corner. Misses. Ball 1.
Got a feel for Babkowski. Pretty good pitch there, just a little bit low.
1-0 to Shank. Pitch. Fastball skied out to left field. Danado moving over, and he makes the play right next to the foul line for out number 2.
Next, we go to the top fielder, number 27, the shortstop.
Always feels like Gladfelter's coming up either with 2 outs or to lead off. This time with 2 outs. Looking to reach base again with 2 outs here.
Another quick start to the inning after a really quick bottom of the 6th. After a long 5.5, this game's starting to flip speeds around. First pitch to Gladfelter, upstairs, ball 1. Pitch upstairs, misses, now 2-0. Gladfelter ahead in the count, 2 outs in the inning. Pitch in there, called strike. Gladfelter takes it. Now 2-1. Babkowski on the mound. Deals upstairs. Now 3-1 to Gladfelter. All the way from Sunnyvale, California. 2 guys on this Americans team from California. Gladfelter at the plate and Glasscock, who's on the mound for the red, white, and blue. 3-1. Misses upstairs. And Gladfelter, 5th walk of the ball game, is now on base for the 5th time tonight. His on-base percentage skyrocket.
First walk given up by Babkowski. So bring up Xander Clark, who has been outstanding today.
Yeah, 2 for 2, 2 base hits and 2 walks. Now at the plate, batting from the left side. The right fielder tonight for the Americans. Gladfelter off first. He's got a stolen bag tonight. See if he wants to swipe another now. No, he doesn't. Bounce to the right side, fielded by Forney. He'll go to first. No, he won't. Now throw to third. It gets by the third baseman, Orlovitz, and Gladfelter will come around to score from first on a ground out to second. Clark heads to second as well. So an E4 allows the Americans now to lead by 3, 12-9.
What an interesting play there from Forney. You know, he didn't have the out at first, but cross field, cross-body throw. No chance for Orlovitz. After we thought Gladfelter was going to steal, holds off, but able to get from first to home. Huge insurance run here. This Americans up by 3.
See if that one's called a hit first. Looks like it's going to be called a hit and then an error on the throw. So a run scores on the E4. Yeah, quite a play by Forney to be able to get there and stop it. They'll bring up Dominic Zangardi, who rips that to right field. That'll fall for a base hit and roll towards the gap. Clark will come around to score easily. Zangardi headed for second, and he'll make it. It's a 2-out RBI double for Dominic Zangardi. The Americans take a 13-9 lead here at Colburn Park.
Here's this 2-out rally, Tom, the Americans have been looking for. Gladfelter able to get on and a hit by Clark. They'll call a hit, then an error, but able to get in safely to second. Then laced by Zangardi after he was 0 for 3, 2 straight hits, 5 RBIs, including a grand salami and a double down between the lines in right center. Americans hitting it after
that
hit.
One's driven to right field. Coming on, Wagner. He makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So Sabella is retired, but not before the Americans put on 2 runs on just 1 hit, 1 error in the inning, and 1 runner left on base. We've got a 13-9 ball game here at Colburn Park. 22 combined runs in this game. We'll listen in to Take Me Out to the Ball Game here at Colburn Park.
What's up? What's up? Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. What's he doing?
What was the point of that? That was the dumbest fucking throw I've ever seen in my time.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank McDonald's for being a sponsor of the team this year. With an extensive menu of well-known favorites, McDonald's is famous for its convenience. Especially during a long baseball season, McDonald's is the perfect place to grab a quick bite to eat and get right back to the ballpark. So head to your nearest McDonald's and enjoy all the classics.
Back here at Colburn Park in Newark, New York. Americans lead 13-9 here against the Pilots. We're in the bottom of the 7th. Alex Glasscock on the mound against Michael DeRosa. First pitch from Glasscock, and Ephus in there, called strike one. Beauty of a pitch from Alex Glasscock. DeRosa kind of looking ultra confused at home plate. Now gearing up to take a big hack, it looks like, as he takes inside. It hit him. And he'll reach first on the hit by pitch.
After a beautiful Ephus ran inside, probably about 30 miles an hour. The leadoff runner does reach. Glasscock have to get 3 quick outs here.
That'll bring up Connor Wright, the extra hitter tonight for the Pilots. Dominic Zangardi, his second hit of the night last inning, a double. There he goes off first, throw it on to second. Not in time. Glasscock jumping around, thought past, had him. But DeRosa steals second.
Pilots haven't scored in 3 innings. Looking to get one here with runner score position, still no one out.
Glasscock comes set, delivers a fastball down the right field line. So now 0-2. He's ahead. Got to give Glasscock some credit. Position player out there on the mound, but still throwing it over the plate. Here's the 0-2. That one's hit to short. Gladfelter fields on one hand, throws across his body off the line at first, but a nice job by Sabella to come off the base and make a out at first for the first out of the inning.
Big first out, as you mentioned, up the line, but able to read that throw.
Gonna bring up Jeremy Sosa from Manhattan University. This past year, started 29 games, played 32, just hit .210, 3 doubles, a triple, and a homer in 100 at-bats. 1-out pitch, fastball outside corner, called a strike from Glasscock, who again really working ahead in the count, doing a nice job putting the ball over the plate, which is what the Americans need. Glasscock comes set, deals the 0-1, inside, misses, now 1-1. Sosa exactly 100 at-bats this past year at Manhattan, a Division I school. 11 RBIs, 23 strikeouts to 20 walks. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Pitch from Glasscock. Swung on and missed. Strike 2.
Nice pitch there. Really fooled him. Now 1-2 count.
So a Division III middle infielder on the mound for the Americans against a Division I outfielder. Not exactly what you had to run up coming into this game. Count 1-2. Pitch from Glasscock. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Glasscock gets him down on strikes. Sosa heading back to the dugout for the second out of the inning.
Division III, but don't discredit that Nescac on that beautiful pitch inside. Huge out number 2, trying to leave that runner at second, stranded.
Liam Wagner now at the plate. Got a 2 RBI double tonight. He's 1 for 3, stepping in with 2 outs now in the inning. We're in the bottom of the 7th here at Colburn Park. Glasscock deals first pitch of the at-bat. Wagner gives it a ride deep to center, but Zangardi drops it. Looked like he had it, now off his glove. Wagner will head to second. A run scores on the play. Now 13-10. That's the 7th error of the ball game for the Americans.
Number 6, the catcher, Luke Brazel.
As Zangardi drops it, a play that he normally makes 99 out of 100 times. There's the one that he doesn't make the play on.
Talked about it, Tom. First error on the year for Zangardi. Just looks like an easy play. He's been outstanding offensively. You thought you were going to have a great scoreless inning from Glasscock, but still another runner on second again.
Glasscock out of the stretch, 2 outs in the inning. Here's Luke Brazell, pitch, and he hits him. Second hit by pitch of the game for Alex Glasscock, and second of the inning. That'll make it first and second. Glasscock a little smirk. He knows he's not throwing too hard, doesn't have to worry about Brazell getting injured or anything like that. That'll bring up Lucas Orlovitz. He's 0 for 1 today. He's got a stolen bag and 2 walks, but bounced back to the pitcher in the third. Glasscock on the bump with runners at first and second. Orlovitz the tying run at the plate, 2 outs in the inning. Glasscock checks Wagner at second, deals. Orlovitz skies that one out to left field. Munakata takes a couple steps back, now coming in, lunges and makes the catch for the third out of the inning. Munakata doing a really good job out there in left field. Makes an inning-ending catch in the 7th spot on the diamond.
Huge play for Munakata. That run does score on that error from Zangardi, but 6 outs left here for the Pilots. America's up by 3.
They're coming to bat against Christopher Babkowski here in the top of the 8th at Colburn Park in Newark, New York.
Sammy's Pizzeria has been family owned and operated for 3 generations since 1962 and are the originators of the 1/2 tray of pizza. The Americans would like to thank Sammy's for sponsoring the team this season. Pick up all your favorites right across the street from Sal Magley Stadium at Sammy's Pizzeria. The Niagara Falls Americans would like to thank Coca-Cola for their support this season. Known for its refreshing bubbles and iconic flavor, Coca-Cola is the world's best-selling carbonated soft drink. Snag a Coke right here at the Sal Magley Stadium concession stand and make your game day even sweeter. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Greater Together Credit Union. Greater Together Credit Union provides personalized banking, loans, mortgages, and savings accounts for anyone living, working, or attending school in Erie or Niagara counties. For more information, current rates, or to apply for membership, visit greatertogethercu.com.
Another PGCBL West Division showdown tonight, 13-10. The Pilots ahead of the Americans. Take a look around the rest of the West Division. Batavia ahead of Jamestown, 8-7 in the bottom of the 8th at Dietrich Park. So that game, another long one. We're in the top of the 8th. They're in the bottom of the 8th. The Elmira Pioneers trail the Olean Oilers 7-6. The Niagara Ironbacks ahead of the Geneva Red Wings 4-3. And the Auburn Double A's trail the Finger Lakes Lakers, a team not in the PGCBL, 3-2, now in the bottom of the 10th. So they're in extra innings at Falcon Park in Auburn, New York, who the Americans will play twice next week. Pitch to Favada, misses upstairs. Now 1-0. Count 1-0. Pitch from Babkowski is called a strike. A fastball in the inside corner evens up the count at 1. Pitch. Favada takes it upstairs. Now 2-1. Favada having a good game at the plate so far as the designated hitter. His 5th time at the plate now. Lines that one to the left side. Picked by Orlovitz. He'll go across the diamond. Favada beats it out. Throw gets by DeRosa at first, but Favada will stay put. So a good stop by Orlovitz. Looks like a hit on the play, but also an error on the throw. Looks like it's going to be ruled an E5. A nice pick, stop at third by Orlovitz, but threw it away completely at first, which did cause the error. I think if he throws an accurate play and Favada still beats it out, it's a hit. Pass, lines that one up the middle, fielded by Castillo. He recovers, flips on his second, and gets Favada for out number 1.
Sort of overran the bag on that play, able to get back to Favada, who sort of stumbles at second. So able to get that runner out. So you think that Wheeler should have done earlier. So 1 out so far in this game. Americans wouldn't mind another insurance runner if Glasscock comes out. Saw Safavada warming up in the pen to see if he comes in after that ground out.
I'll bring up Anthony Savino. Doubled his last time up. Pitch from Babkowski's fouled straight back. Count 0-1 to that Niagara Falls native. Passed off first. Pitch, pop to the right side of the infield. DeRosa drifting out, but now Forney underneath it makes the catch for the second out of the inning.
Next, number 6, the third baseman, Cooper Rowell.
That'll bring up Cooper Rowell, third baseman tonight for the Americans. He's 1 for 2 today, 2 walks and an RBI single. Pitch, Rowell takes it for strike number 1. So Pass now off first, 2 outs in the inning. A fielder's choice off the bat of Nick Pass, where Favada was thrown out at second and a fly out to second base, a pop out. Rowell gives that one a ride to left. Going back is Danido at the track, at the wall. It'll land right in front of the wall. Over the head of Danido. Pass comes around third. He's going to score from first. Rowell headed for third. Dives in. Safe. Cooper Rowell, a 2-out triple. Nick Pass scores on the play. Makes it 14-10 Americans as they lead.
You saw that play similar when Rowell was here on the 12th. The bases clearing double right at that Bully Hill Vineyard sign. Similar play here over the head in left for Danido. Able to get in for a triple. Munakata trying to score him here with 2 outs as he struck out 3 times.
So there's your insurance run. The Americans would like to make it insurance runs, though. Plural. Munakata takes ball number 1. Tough day at the plate for the Americans left fielder, but done a great job out there in the field. Made a couple nice plays. Pitch outside, misses. Now 2-1. 2-0, excuse me. July 10th, here at Colburn Park. Scores 14-10. Almost like a football score. 2-0 pitch outside, now 3-0. Kind of back-to-back nights of really high-scoring baseball the Americans have found themselves in, as well as the Pilots, who high-scoring baseball is a tough way to put it. They lost yesterday, the Pioneers 23-0. Pitch to Munakata in there, called strike, now 3-1. So Rowell now 4 RBIs tonight, his second 4 RBI game of the year, both of them against the Newark Pilots. Pitch to Munakata, fouled straight back, now 3-2.
Looking so far on the year, Tom, Americans have scored only more than 14 runs once, and that was on the 20th where they beat the Muck Dogs in 7-15-4.
Here's the 3-2 to Munakata. Misses upstairs. Ball 4.
So with runners in the corner, brings up number 10, the exterior, Evan Shank.
Americans in their 5th time around the batting order at the moment. We're in the top of the 8th. They lead the Pilots 14-10. Runners at the corners for Evan Shank. Pitch inside. Called a strike. Now 0-1. Talking to or watching Shank in batting practice today. Looked really good. Was hitting the ball hard. All BP. Looking to do so here at the plate. Pitch. Bounce to third. Fielded on the backhand by Orlovitz. Stops. Throws across the diamond. Stretch it first by DeRosa. Gets the out. A nice play by Lucas Orlovitz to end the inning. But in the inning, the Americans score 1 run on 1 hit. A Cooper Rowell triple. 1 error in the inning. And 2 runners left on base. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. The Pilots trail the Americans 14-10. You're watching PGCBL Baseball here on the American Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park. The Niagara Falls Americans appreciate the support of Stalka Agency. Serving Western New York since 1957, Stalka Agency makes insurance simple through proactive planning and straightforward conversations. Call the local Stalka insurance team at 716-634-7070 to get a tailored insurance quote that's as precise as a pitcher painting the outside corner.
So on the mound now for the Americans is Thomas Marcotte. Pitched last night. The Americans running it back here. Back-to-back nights. Glasscock and Marcotte out of the pen. The run-it-back Americans. Count now 1-0. Marcotte facing off against Justin Danadow. The 10-hitter for the Pilots. Outside. Misses now 2-0.
Marcotte 3 hits and 3 earned runs in 1 inning. Americans certainly can't have that. In this game, they're only up by 4.
Marcotte out of the stretch. Here's the 2-0. Just misses. Now 3-0.
Saw Vincent Favada warming up earlier. Curious as to why they didn't really go with him. He's had the struggles earlier this year, but certainly pitched more than Marcotte.
Here's the 3-0. In there. Called strike. Now 3-1.
Sort of a half swing there.
Marcotte comes set. Behind in the count 3-1. Pitch to Danadow. Misses. So it's a leadoff walk issued by Thomas Marcotte. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Miles Castillo.
Up next from Rochester, New York, number 16, the shortstop, Miles Castillo.
Castillo batting from the left side. First pitch from Marcotte is wild. Ball 1.
5 straight balls.
1-0 pitch coming from Marcotte. Misses upstairs. Now 2-0. So the Americans ahead of the Pilots 14-10. 2-0 count. Marcotte to Castillo. Pitch upstairs. Misses. Now 3-0. Just pitched. Count 3-0. Marcotte behind in the count against Castillo, the leadoff hitter for the Pilots. Pitch, fastball, misses. Back-to-back walks from Thomas Marcotte. Having trouble finding the zone so far here in the 8th.
From Pittsburgh, PA, number 28, the DH, Matthew D'Ottavio.
That'll bring up Matthew D'Ottavio. He's 0 for 1 today. A sacrifice bunt, 2 walks, and a ground out to third. Pitch up and in, misses for a ball.
5 straight balls here from Marcotte. It's got to find the zone here. Only way he's going to get some outs.
Looking for a 2-ball. That one upstairs misses. 6 balls in a row issued by Marcotte. Frustrated out there on the mound. See what position player the Americans can go to next if they are out of arms. Count 2-0. Danadow off second. Pitch in there. Called strike. Marcotte finds the zone. Like a little kid on Easter. Digging up a Easter egg. Marcotte finds the strike zone. Deals 2-1. D'Ottavio gives that one a ride out to left field. Munakata circles under it. Good footwork. Danadow out on second. Going to fake the tag up to draw the throw, but there's the first out of the inning, a big one.
Huge first out from Marcotte as it goes right to Munakata. It's just think about how the pitchers have went in order for the Americans. You think if Weiss didn't have that injury, we're so curious to see what that was. He could have went another inning, and Glasscock could be coming in here for one more inning because he's only thrown 23 pitches, and it was hitless so far when he was out. But big first out, still first and second up.
So here's Colton Forney, first and second, 1 out. We're in the bottom of the 8th. First pitch from Marcotte. It hits Forney. That'll load the bases.
So with bases loaded, brings up number 8 from Goshen, New York, the first baseman, Michael DeRosa.
So the Americans kind of just holding on for their life right now. Up 4 runs. That'll bring the corners in. The Americans will keep the middle back, and the tying run is at the plate in Michael DeRosa, the first baseman tonight for the Pilots. First pitch from Marcotte in there, called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. DeRosa, no home runs this year, but if you were to connect right here, it would tie the ball game. 14-10, Americans ahead of the Pilots. Pitch from Marcotte. Just misses outside, leaving the count at 1.
DeRosa already has a hit today in this game, scoring 1. Has another hit as well. 3 RBIs in this game, looking to do some more damage.
DeRosa bounces that one to third. Rowell Fields going to go to first and get the out. A nice play by Cooper Rowell, charging towards on the run. Gets the second out of the inning. The Americans will take it, but a run does come in to score, so an RBI ground out for Michael DeRosa.
He'll take it. You thought, okay, maybe he'll go to third and tag that runner out, or he'll try home, but makes a smart play and opts to go for first for that huge second out. 14-11 game, tying runner still up the bat.
So Danado scores on the play. First run of the inning in. Pitch from Marcotte. Skied out to shallow left. Going to be a long run for Gladfelter from short. Munakata underneath it. Gladfelter drops it. 1 run is in. Here comes another. Forney will score. And now we got a 14-13 ball game after a dropped ball out there in left field by Justin Gladfelter.
Gladfelter long run calls off Munakata. Another error in this game. 2 runs fall. Gladfelter, just a really tough game so far in this game. It's just a 1-run ball game. You thought Marcotte was able to get out with a 3-run lead. Now a single can tie this ball game.
That'll bring up Connor Wright. Pitch upstairs. Misses ball 1. Excuse me, this is Jeremy Sosa. Connor Wright just hit that pop-up. Marcotte deals. Inside. Called a strike. Now 1-1. So now we got a 14-13 ball game. A game to remember. Marcotte on the mound. 1-1 count. The pitch. Taken in the dirt. Now 2-1.
Gladfelter, to be frank, has really drawn these Pilots back in this game with how many errors he's had. That's the reason why that crooked 6 in that bottom of the first.
That one misses outside. Good stop from Pass. Doesn't get by him. Now 3-1. I think I might be joking, but that's the 8th error of the ball game for the Americans. That one's hit down the left field line, but lands foul by Jeremy Sosa.
It's a huge pitch here from Marcotte.
Sosa at the plate. He's 0 for 4 today. Did come around to score in the first after reaching on an E6 by Gladfelter. Pitch from Marcotte. Throws behind Sosa, so that'll make it first and second now. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
Massachusetts, number 19, the right fielder, Liam Wagner.
This is one of those games to remember, not because of how long it's been or how many runs are on the scoreboard, just because of the true back and forth nature between these two teams. We had a combined 10 runs in the first inning between the two clubs. Now 14-13. The Americans lead. We're in the bottom half of the 8th. 2 outs in the inning. First and second. Pitch from Marcotte. Skied fouled on the right field line. Out of play for strike 1.
Wagner 1 for 4 with that 2-run double earlier in this game. Also has a strikeout. Needs to get an out here from Marcotte.
Marcotte working out of the stretch. Count is 0-1 against Wagner, who's playing right field tonight for the Pilots. Marcotte throws that one in. It's drilled out to left center. Zangardi going back. He's not going to get there. It'll fall for a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes another, a 2-run, 2-out double for Liam Wagner. And that makes it 15-14. The Pilots lead the Americans.
Inning once again that the Americans should already have over. Americans inning should be over. They should be up 14-11 after two-run hits back to back come in.
Speechless here for the Americans. That one's thrown in there, cut on and missed by Brazel. So 15-14, the Pilots now have a lead, and the Americans trying to get out of this one. Marcotte got to make sure he gets eye contact with the hitter. Not really used to having to do so, because this is his only second appearance on the mound. Looks in, gets the sign, working out of the stretch, deals. Just misses upstairs. Now 1-1. Brazel at the plate. He's got an infield single to his name today. Also reached on a hit by pitch and an error. That one's lined to left field. That'll fall for a base hit. Monacata fields in left. He'll fire home, but it's not going to be in time as Wagner scores on the play. It's a 2-out RBI single for Luke Brazel. And the Pilots now lead 16-14, and we've crossed the 30-run mark.
Up next from Golden Bridge, New York, number 27, the third baseman, Lucas Orlovitz.
That'll bring up Lucas Orlovitz. Orlovitz, 2 walks today, no hits, 0 for 2. First pitch from Marcotte in the dirt for ball 1. Good stop from Past.
Orlovitz reaches, they'll bat around here.
Americans were looking good going into the inning. Now 2 outs in the inning. It's not looking so hot. First pitch from Marcotte's fouled straight back. Now 1-1. Second pitch of the at-bat, excuse me. So in the inning, starting with a walk from Justin Danado, another walk from Miles Castillo, then a fly out, a hit by pitch, and a 5-3 putout. Got it to 2 outs as Orlovitz drives that one out to left. Munakata going back. He makes the play for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Pilots are able to tack on 6 runs in the inning. And now they lead the Americans 16-14 in the inning. The Pilots have 6 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, a costly one from Justin Gladfelter at shortstop that really could have ended the inning, and the Americans could have kept the lead. And now they trail the Pilots coming to bat here down to their final 3 outs against Christopher Babkowski in the top of the 9th. They trail 16-14 in an insane game.
8 errors. Americans could easily be up by 10 in this game. Just error after error after error. Gladfelter, 4 of them. And if the Americans fall to the Pilots, he could be the answer to this game. They could be up by 3 runs right now. Instead, they're down 2, 5-run swing here. And it's bringing up Justin Gladfelter here. Certainly going to try and make up for that. He has so far a couple walks, and that's how runs are sure to follow.
So Gladfelter due up for the red, white, and blue here in the top of the 9th at Colburn Park on the Americans Sports Network.
The Niagara Falls Americans thank Casella Waste Systems for their continued support. Casella offers sustainable waste management and garbage pickup right here in Niagara Falls. As an environmental service provider, Casella manages and transforms society's waste into new resources. Call 716-637-4843 to get a price quote on garbage pickup. A special thank you to Tropical Heating and Cooling for sponsoring the Americans this season. Locally owned and operated, Tropical Heating and Cooling provides expert installation, repair, and maintenance for home heating, cooling, and air quality systems. Call 716-870-0753 or head to tropicalheating.net to submit a service request and knock your heating and cooling needs out of the park.
So now in the top of the 9th here at Colburn Park, the Americans down to their final 3 outs. Gladfelter at the plate. He's reached base all 5 times tonight. Babkowski on the mound. First pitch to Gladfelter taken upstairs for ball 1. So Gladfelter reached all 5 times on 5 walks. He's came around to score 4 times. 5 walks, 4 runs. Also a stolen base. Babkowski out of the windup, deals, takes outside, now 2-0. Americans down 2. They're looking to push across 2 to tie, 3 to take a lead. Although you really wonder who's going to pitch the bottom of the 9th. 2-0 pitch. Gladfelter takes it, strike 1.
Babkowski could certainly be in contention for the win here, Tom. 3 1/3, 5 hits, 4 runs, only 1 earned, but it's really done his job.
Gladfelter swings and misses for strike 2, so count is now even 2-2. Gladfelter fairly late on that fastball from Babkowski. Count even at 2. Nobody out in the inning, nobody on. Babkowski deals. Curveball in there, called strike 3. Gets Gladfelter down looking for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Xander Clark.
It's a humongous first out on Gladfelter. He was trying to walk, frees him on the curveball, brings up Xander Clark, who's 3 for 3 today. Also has 2 walks. Going to continue this inning and bring up Zangardi as well with 5 RBIs.
So 2 guys that have reached all 5 times tonight, and Gladfelter and Clark now will lead off the top of the 9th. But Gladfelter down on strikes for the first one. Clark takes upstairs for ball 1. This game just continues to make you wonder, wow, what a sport this is. 1-0 pitch to Clark upstairs, now 2-0.
2 straight 2-0 counts and works it back to a 2-2. That's how he froze Gladfelter.
Babkowski out of the windup, deals to Clark 2-0, popped foul out of play, now 2-1. Clark, 3 hits today, all singles, also 2 walks. He's came around to score 3 times in this one. 2-1 to Clark. Fouled off down the third baseline, now 2-2. Clark all over the heater, just yet to put it in play. Count is even at 2. 1 out here in the top of the 9th. Babkowski out of the windup. Here against Clark. Here's the pitch. Curveball outside. Tried to land it in like against Gladfelter. Can't do so. Now 3-2.
Huge pitch from Clark. Yet to strike out today. Has reached safely all 5 times. You know he's going to be vigilant on this full counter.
Here's the 3-2 from Babkowski upstairs. Ball 4. So Clark works a walk. And he's on base for the 6th time tonight.
Gotta be careful. You know that could have been called either way. Brings up Dominic Zangardi. Gave them a lead on that grand slam. Be him, then Sabella, who's also reached plenty.
Zangardi a double and a homer tonight. 5 RBIs. Batting from the left side here against the righty Babkowski. 1 out of the inning. Xander Clark, good speed over there first. Tying run at the plate. Zangardi takes it for strike 1. Now 0-1. Fastball from Babkowski. Americans trying to let this losing streak end. Pitch. Zangardi lines that one into left field. It'll fall for a base hit. Nice play out there by Danido to keep it in front of him. So Zangardi now a triple away from the cycle. 3rd hit of the night. That'll bring up Michael Sabella.
Danido made that play look easier than it actually was. That one could have just bounced under his glove. Quickly tied his ball game. It brings up Sabella, who's been outstanding in his game on both sides of the ball. Looking to continue it here. Sabella 2 for 4.
At the plate, a switch hitter batting from the left side. 0-0 count, 1 out in the inning. Pitch. Sabella fouls it off behind home. Now 0-1.
So 1 for 4 came around to score twice. Has an RBI as well. Also a walk.
This is his first game as an American of the summer. Winning run at the plate. 0-1 pitch from Babkowski. Sabella grounds it to the right side and foul. Just barely. That could have been a game-tying double on the right field line, but foul.
It's a 2-0-2. Spot here from Babkowski. Trying to get out their first baseman.
Sabella at the plate behind 0-2. Babkowski comes set, checks on Clark at second, delivers. Babkowski gets a ground ball to second, on to second for one, on to first. Sabella beats it out. So it's a 4-6 fielder's choice. And the Americans are still alive now with runners at the corners and 2 outs.
Absolutely hustling down the line. Didn't want to get out on a double play. Now it brings up Favada, 2 hits already. Hasn't gotten an RBI yet.
Clark now at third. Sabella at first, and Zangardi out at second on the play. Favada, a home run on the year. It's the tying run at the plate, or go-ahead run, at the plate. Pitch. Favada gives that one a ride to left, but it's going to go foul, way out in front. If it was fair, it was definitely gone. Favada aiming for that scoreboard in left field. Just out in front of that one.
Really feel that the Americans team underestimated this Pilots team. They opted to not use Gancha. They opted to not use Harris or Weiss. Thought it was really going to be easy. Now down by 2.
Runners at the corners. 0-1 count. Pitch to Favada. Swings and foul. Tips it for strike 2. So the Americans suddenly down to their final strike in Vincent Favada at the plate. Favada 2 hits today, both singles, also a walk. Reached on an error his last time at the plate. Runners at the corners. Count is 0-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. Babkowski out of the stretch. Steals for Favada. Fouled off. Crowd getting into it now. Quite a game. 30 runs between the two teams. 16-14. The Pilots over the Americans. Count is 0-2. Favada batting from the right side against the righty Babkowski. 2 outs now in the top of the 9th. Deals to Favada. Outside. Misses now 1-2.
Good take from Favada there.
Yeah, really good eye to let that one go. This Americans team always keeping the fans on the edge of their seat. Count is now 1-2. Babkowski checks in for the sign. He's got it. Out of the stretch. Steals to Favada. Low and away. Called strike 3. Christopher Babkowski gets Favada looking for the 3rd out of the inning, and the Pilots pull off an unbelievable 16-14 win against the Americans. Their first win of the Americans this season, their 5th total win of the year, and they break up their 4-game losing streak against the Red, White, and Blue, who now have lost their last 10 games. And at Colburn Park, the Pilots win 16-14.
Just a game the Americans are quite frankly going to want to forget. You're up by 3 runs coming into the top of the 8th. You bring up Marcotte, who's had a tough outing yesterday, but you think as that ball is flying in the air, all right, we're going to be up by 3. Gladfelter drops it, makes it a 1-run game, then just a double in the left center, and then another run comes in. You just got to feel for Marcotte, who you know is going to get the loss in this game, but just doesn't deserve it. And the game for the Americans where pitching, not having position players pitch in full swing. Glasscock did his job. Weiss did as well. And Marcotte thought did his job. You're certainly curious who they would have had in the 9th. But the Americans stepped behind in a game. They felt like they underestimated the opponent, Tom. That really felt like what this game was today. You're facing a guy who's 0-5. Take out 2 of your best, arguably 3 of your best players, and a team who's 4-20 just beat you, and you gave up 16 runs.
Look on the bright side, though, a little bit. You put up 14. A good offensive day for the Red, White, and Blue, but they cannot get it done on defense as they lose this one 16-14, their 10th straight loss here in 2026. But the season nowhere near over. That was just game 31. The Americans still got a week and a half left of baseball as they'll take on the Olean Oilers at Sal Maglie Stadium tomorrow night, looking for their first win in 10 games. Pilots win this one 16-14. The final box score, the Americans 14 runs on 12 hits, 8 errors. Yep, let me repeat that. 8 errors, an unbelievable defensive game for the Americans, and 14 runners left on base. Compared to the Pilots, 16 runs on 7 hits, 2 errors, and 9 runners left on base. The Pilots pulled off tonight their first win against the Americans in 2 seasons, winning tonight 16-14. Again, tomorrow the Americans will take on the Olean Oilers. Tomorrow at Sal Maglie Stadium, the Americans go to 9-22 on the year, whereas the Pilots move to 4-21. I'm Tom Ruck alongside Ethan Duncan. We'll be live right here on the American Sports Network tomorrow night at 6:20 for a 6:30 first pitch at Sal Maglie Stadium. Americans Oilers, we thank you so much for spending part of your Friday night with us here.